may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty. He's quite the guy. If you're feeling lonely, come and make a friend. If you need a story, on Sty you can depend. His voice is soothing like a lullaby. Sometimes he brings a tear to my eye. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty. He's quite the guy.
So, am I quite a guy? Hell. Sometimes I hear that and I go, oh, really, huh? I wish the hell I was kind of a third party looking in and see what's so special about me. I don't know what the hell. I got the gal that sang that song in the basement. She's laughing her ass off down there. But I don't know. I don't know. I've given up on why people think certain ways about other people. I just given up on it. I'm not one. I don't. You all know. I don't like pats on the back. I don't like that. Oh, we're there for you, Sty. Yeah. Oh, you're so great, Sty. You're so great. Oh, get real. I'm just one of you. I'm just one of you folks. We're all equal. We're all equal. Love every one of you. Love every one of you. I'm going to shout out who's been out in the chat. Very few people right now, but they're coming in. They're coming in. Metal music right away. He's got to pop in there right away. He had to opt out for some warm Portillo's food, seeing that it's chilly outdoors lately. Oh, give up on spring. I mean, I don't know. Here, we're not going to have a spring. You can see this shit. I'll show you this. That's my front yard. See that white shit? I mean, it's April 23rd. What the hell is that doing there? That ain't supposed to be there. That ain't supposed to be there. Pisses me off. Last week we had a big snowstorm. I had to shovel a path out to the street. And because of my chemotherapy, I was just weak and fatigued. It took me a damn hour to go 35 feet out to the street. That was a 10-minute shoveling job just 3 months ago. And it took me an hour. And I'm standing out there, and there's a neighbor walking down the street. I didn't see, well, it's a pair of them, a husband and wife walking their dog. I got to the street, the second path out to make it wide enough. Got out to the street. And I'm looking across the street with a big row of pine trees. I took the shovel and I threw the son of a bitch at them pine trees. And I said, get the fuck out of here. You and the snow. And all of a sudden I heard this laugh and I turned around. Those folks are only about 20 feet behind me. And I go, oh, I'm sorry. And the guy's wife says, that's hilarious. She said, I can tell you're fed up with winter. I said, oh, you got it. You know, they say us old folks that 68% of deaths in people over the age of 50 occur in the winter. Well, why stretch out that damn winter? I mean, come on, let's make these winters a little shorter. Come on. What the hell? I'm fed up with the weather. I'm fed up with the weather. Anyway, enough of that shit. Kathy Gahn said, I'll be back. And lo and behold, guess what? She says, I'm back. Yeah, she's back. And there's Alexander with Old Country Homesteading. Great to see you, Alexander. Samantha Lee, of course, is in there shouting love to everybody. She's in the basement. I'll be pulling her up. I got somebody else in the basement, too. I'm very glad to see her. She's outdoors. Oh, she's going to... It's tough for any of these gals to piss me off, but that girl's pissing me off. She's outside, man. I can't be outside right now. Um, hey, Taylor, great to see you. Need to start creating audiobooks to fall asleep to. And he says, that's a compliment. Thank you. I've had, it's no shit. I've had people on my streams fall asleep during the stream. And they said, oh, I'm sorry, I fell asleep in the middle of your stream. I shouldn't set myself up in bed with my laptop because you just put me to sleep. Oops. Well, if you had a good nap, then I accomplished what I was out to do and make you happy for the day. Hey, Pepperson, Kentucky living. It's great to see you. Wolf, wolf, and the wolf howls. Damn right. I love it. Love it. The commit 432. Cheers. Yeah. Cheers to everybody. Everybody. There's Marine Mom. Awesome. Boy, see, I said there's not many people out in the chat, but here they come. I told you they're coming. Everybody's out there chatting with each other. And Metal Music says, where is he here? There he is. He says his voice is satisfying. Oh, okay. Like a good candy bar or something like that, you know? Oh, that was satisfying, right? Hey, Freeman James, there's my brother. Great to see you, buddy. Give Sis a big hug and kiss for me. All goes well. I'll be seeing you late this spring, early summer. Got to get down and visit some family while I can. So that's it. That's everybody out in the chat. I got to pull these gals out of the basement, man. I'm privileged today. Check this shit out. There's Samantha Lee. Oh,
Hi.
oh, it is so cool having her up here. And then I mean I get all the beauties over here on my channel. Look at this one. There's Native Coots.
Hey. How's it going?
How you doing? Thought I'd take you for a walk.
Good to see you. Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
Bandit's over there across the pond.
He's way on the other
I
side.
can't zoom
of the
in
pond.
on StreamYard though. Dang it. He's way over on the other side.
Oh yeah, you can just make them out over there. Oh, that little shit.
Though. Oh, look at him running around.
He just run it.
He's
He
going
just
for
run
it
it.
too.
Yeah, and Bandit does. Boy, that bugger, he takes off like a rocket.
Oh, dude.
If he didn't have a name, I'd say name him Rocket. Name him
That
Rocket.
was great. No, I love it.
Yeah. I always love watching Native Coots' videos when she's up in the high, and she's got Bandit with her. He's just tearing up the countryside. He's everywhere. Boom, 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 just like a pinball in a pinball machine.
Woof woof, Kemet. I brought those over for my channel. I was streaming and we came over here.
I saw you were streaming. I'm getting all set up and I'm getting the invites thrown out there. And I look over on my other screen here and I go, what the hell is she streaming? Damn it, I can't even watch. I got all this. Oh, damn it. But look at here. Look at here. She shows up over here. Awesome.
Bandit's got to be freezing, man. It's cold out here. He's walking around in the water. Something got him a few minutes ago. I think it was a frog or something. He jumped.
We've got 31 degrees here.
Is it?
What it is here, I'm starting to shiver down. It wasn't quite this cold when I got out here.
I think we hit the high for the day, and it's not very high. Oh, that don't work. Ever since I made my phone secure, I gotta remember.
Marine Mom, good to see ya.
Gotta remember.
Metal music.
Damn, yeah. Oh yeah. It's 43 degrees here. Holy shit. It's been a couple hours since I looked out there, and it was 38 the last time I looked.
Definitely breakup season.
supposed to be sunny and 40
God, he's
degrees
way over there
tomorrow,
now.
but the best temp for our week is 51 degrees and that's 5 days out. That can
Head back
change.
to the car. It'll take us a little while to get there.
This time of the year, what in northern Wisconsin, what we're used to is about the low 60s, and you get the low 60s, everybody's out barbecuing, raking their lawns, and just
Yep.
shit. Here it's just look out there.
Come on, man.
Damn winter. Old man winter.
Oh my God.
Boy, oh boy.
Come on.
Hey, you're at a good spot for them to just run, too.
Yeah. We couldn't make it out here last time. Last time there was too much snow when we went the other way to where there wasn't very much. Then it got foggy.
I like seeing the open water. We don't have any. The only open water we got here out on what they call Chequamegon Bay on Lake Superior is where the old ore docks used to be. The piers are dark colored, so the sun reflects off of those, warms them up under the ice. So there's open water just where those big ore docks are. Otherwise, everything's froze solid out there yet. I saw a damn fool out there yesterday ice fishing, and
oh my goodness,
he's 3/4 of a mile offshore, and I'm like, yeah. I wanted so bad to somehow contact him and let him watch this video from 1934 when 27 guys were out on that bay. The wind shifted, broke the ice up, and they were on the biggest ice floe. That ice floe was 8 miles across.
Jeez.
And it drifted offshore half a mile. And these 27 guys are trying to figure out how the hell we're going to get off this ice. It's blowing them out. It's blowing them out to the big lake, right out into Lake Superior. And their story is pretty harrowing. None of them died. They all made it, but boy, a couple of them come close. They had this little flat bottom boat that was made to hold nothing but 2 people. I mean, it was a tiny little boat. Now, Lake Superior, you don't go out on that lake with something like that. Oh, no, some guy on shore saw that ice heading out, and he knew them guys are going to die. He's out there with this rowboat for 2 guys, and he came back, and there were 6 of them in that boat. And
oh my God!
They had these little wooden boxes they were using to keep bailing the boat out. The waves were so bad they're coming right in the boat, and those guys are bailing the boat. They took turns bailing, and finally got to shore. But no, I looked out there yesterday. That lone fishing teepee out there, and the guy's out there with a snowmobile, and I thought, yeah, you're a damn fool. You might have 2 feet of ice where you're fishing, but that shit along this shoreline is only about 4 to 5 inches. This shit breaks loose. You're heading out to sea, buddy. And I thought, hurry up and break up. I'll run home quick, grab my GoPros, and get back down here and film that shit. Bye.
I used to go out there for the coho run when the ice would go out. That was fun. That was such a blast.
Oh yeah.
Dang.
You had to say that, girl. Now I want to get a smoker set up and smoke some coho. Now, that's one thing I tried about 6 years ago, and I should have filmed it. I just wasn't even thinking. I was busy doing all kinds of other shit. But I haven't found anybody else that's ever done it. I prepped about I'd say 10 pounds of smelt. And people that don't know what smelt are, they're only that long. I call it bait. It's bait. I go northern fishing with smelt. I use smelt for northern fishing. But up here, everybody eats them. They just eat them. And they're no bigger than a small sardine. I took them smelt and I prepped them just like I did my salmon and put them in the smoker.
Ooh.
I only got to eat about 10 or 15 smelt out of about 600 of them. Everybody was going nuts. They come over. I want to try your smelt, and they're taking the smelt. That is so freaking awesome. Smoked smelt. I said, and they said, where'd you get that idea? I said, fish, smoked fish. Why the fuck can't you smoke every other fish? So I tried it.
Why not?
And I asked around. Nobody else had ever heard of such a thing. And,
Wow.
And I thought, yeah, smoked smelt. It's pretty.
Oh, I
And
love
my smoking brine is a lot of people really like it. It's a sugar brine with maple syrup, and the smoked fish come out so sweet. Oh yeah, and it worked good on us. I didn't know that it would, but it did. And all of a sudden, I enjoyed smelt again. I used to hate. We go to smelt fries every spring. The ex-wife and she'd get this big ass plate of smelt, just chowing them down. I'd sit there and I got maybe a dozen on my plate, and I'm picking at them. Don't you enjoy those smelt? I said, I feel like I'm at the bait store eating their bait. I said, those aren't even fish. They're not big enough to be called a fish. I said, I just have a hard time eating all those little tiny fish. It's weird.
I get me a bunch of kipper snacks today. Oh, can't wait.
Oh, I got two cans left in my cupboard.
I was out.
I love my kippers. Yeah.
Now it's raining. Great.
Raining.
Yeah, it's raining.
Oh man.
It's cold.
Oh,
I thought it might rain on us.
There's a few spots of snow.
She's getting big.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit of snow here and there. Not much.
She's sleeping right now. She just got over her like third or fourth heat. But yeah, she's approaching 19 months now.
Oh, it's been that long,
Yeah,
Jeez.
she's a sweetheart.
Who do we have popping
I
in
got
today?
dogs just sipping away. He is.
We got
he's a-
Gemma with us.
Gemma.
Hey.
Gemma.
Wow.
Look at old Sty. He's just surrounded by the girls here today. That's great. I love it.
You're
Thank you,
always
lady.
surrounded by girls.
Thank you, lady.
How's it
We're
going?
running
Gemma?
water today. A flower. Oh my gosh.
It's going
flower.
okay.
Good.
Cute.
Oh, little lone yellow flower. I
Little
love
teeny little flower.
I just come back.
it. So,
Mm.
I did
what was that, Gemma?
from
Now.
having supper, late supper with my dad. He took me out for supper, so I just
Oh.
got
Nice.
back.
Neat.
Yeah, we
I wish-
went out and had what we call a Sunday roastery. It's either beef, pork, or vegan roast dinner with gravy and veggies. So we had that.
Someone coming.
The boats and stuff as well, because we went on a little boat yard, so we went for a walk around the
Bennett.
beaches.
Oh, neat. Neat. I wish somebody come take me to dinner. No buyers, I guess.
Where, Bandit?
I'm gonna have stuffed green peppers tonight for dinner.
Someone's coming.
I love my
Yeah, that
stuffed
was
green
tasty.
pepper. Hey,
Stay close, Bandit.
do any of you know what L-glutamine is?
No.
L-glutamine. I never heard of that shit, right? And so my doctor, because I got such bad neuropathy in my hands and feet, and they're trying to figure that out, try to limit that as much as possible, because the new chemo, they put me on a whole new chemo routine, and the new chemo is causing pains I didn't have before. Lots of extreme pain in my shoulder down my right side. That's caused by the that's caused by my liver.
Close, Bandit.
That's what causes that pain. That's weird. Why does it attack the right side? And he said, yeah, it says, like Komet says, amino acid. Yes, it is one of the amino acids.
Bandit.
But L-glutamine, it's a supplement, considered a protein supplement, and a lot of bodybuilders use it. I called an old friend of mine. Dale. His name is Dale Kruger, and he's a professional bodybuilder, and he owns a club down in Minneapolis, a real high-end club. It costs you $2,000 to be a member, just to be a member of that club in his gym. To walk in the door and use a treadmill, it's going to cost you $2,000 a year. Well, I called him up last night and I said, "Hey, Dale, what can you tell me about L-glutamine?" And I told him he wasn't aware of my condition, and I told him what I'm dealing with. And he goes, "Oh God, man, you're not using it already?" I go, "What? My doctor said this shit's great for what I'm feeling, the muscle pains and the neuropathy and it." And he says, "Oh, God, it's good for your bowels." I mean, he says, what it does is it really activates your bowels. You get so much more nutrition out of the things you eat because of the L-glutamine. He says it builds your intestinal tract. And he said, plus, it's a really strong immune builder. And he said, it's a pain inhibitor. And he says, all of my bodybuilders in my club are required to use L-glutamine. He said, because when they work out to the point where it's at that almost excessive point. And after the after-workout effects are a lot of muscle ache and pain that lasts for hours and hours. Get them on L-glutamine, they don't have that pain after the workouts. He says, so if you're having trouble hiking, having leg cramps and that, which I do, he says, L-glutamine, and you'll...
Come on, man, get away from the road.
Feel all of those aches and pains. So he sold me on it. The doctor told me to use it. But then I told him what the doctor told me to take. He wants me to do 10 grams of L-glutamine 3 times a day for 4 days after I have my chemo every week, for 4 days a week. Okay. Well, 10 grams. You know what the manufacturer recommended dose is? 5 grams once a day. And they say don't exceed that without medical advice. Well,
wow.
He wants me to take 6 times the recommended dose. So I called the doctor. Fortunately, I can call him during the weekend, but I got to leave a message, and he'll call me back if he's available. So he called me back, and I told him, I said, I just found out about that L-glutamine you want me to take. I said, it sounds like that shit's going to work good. And he said, oh, yeah, it'll work great. He said, you just make sure to take the doses. I said, that's my question. Why are you making me take 6 times the recommended dose? He said, you need it. I go, what do you mean I need it? He says, you need all of that protein and you need as much pain inhibitor as possible because it'll help you build muscle stamina and you'll be able to feel more normal. But he says, it's a lot. But he said, I forgot to tell you, all you do is you put 2 scoops of that shit in a glass and you use a foamer. I use an electric foamer that you would use on making a cappuccino or something, and I mix it up and drink. Well,
Okay, Bandit.
he said, you got to do that no sooner than an hour and a half before you actually eat a meal that contains protein. He says, so if you're craving a couple of peanut butter sandwiches, hour and a half before that, you take your dose of that L-glutamine, because the proteins that you're eating will actually reduce the amount of L-glutamine that your digestive system can. It's too much protein. He says you're capping out on so much protein, your digestive system can't use it all. And he said, so you got to, strategic how you take this. And he says, and I'm looking forward to see what the results will be. I said, okay, so am I. Well, so I bought some yesterday online. It's going to be here tomorrow, Monday. That shit is $28 for a container that will last me 5 days. Well, that's over $100 a month I got to spend just on a supplement. And I told the doc, I said, I got a budget, meal budget. I'm in an ex accountant, and I was a forensic accountant, so like real particular about the numbers. Well, my food budget for the month averages $7 a day. For $7 a day, I can eat good. I can eat really good. A lot of people go, there's no way in hell you can eat for $7 a day. Oh yeah, you can. Just come and look at my freezer, look at my fridge. I'm eating like a king on $7 a day. But the problem is, now I've almost doubled that cost. It's my food budget plus half of my food budget tacked on top of it, just doing one supplement. I told him, I said, you make $500,000 a year. Why don't you buy me that shit? He laughed. He said, I wish I could. He said, but if I did it for you, I'd do it for all my patients. I get it. Well, that sucks. When I saw the price of that shit, it's just like, I'm all excited. Then I saw the price and I ordered it. I go, healthy and broke. What the fuck? I mean, everything's got a goddamn trade-off on it, Oh, do this. It's going to be great for you. Okay. Oh, but it's going to cost you $200. How often? A month? What the? That's all right. I'll put up with that. I'm not going to do this to get rid of that problem. I mean, it's at that point where I tell them some of my comfort issues, I'm going to just waylay them and live with them because I'm not spending that freaking money. I told them, I said, that $100 a month that I got to spend on this supplement now is 2 really nice road trips for me because I got my tent for the truck, everything. I got a lot of costs. I bring food from home. I don't have to buy special foods or anything. All I do is hit the road, run the country, and hang out. I said, you just cut 2 trips out of the 3 trips I have budgeted for this spring and summer each month. I said, you cut 2 of those out. Now I'm down to 1 trip a month. It's bullshit. I said, this had better be a miracle. Otherwise, after the first month, I'll give up on that shit. But yeah, I had never heard of L-glutamine. In fact, I go to Walmart and I tell them I need L-glutamine powder, not the tablets. They're looking all over for it. Then they get in their system and they go, we don't carry it here.
Oh.
Okay, you got this huge ass frickin' pharmacy and a huge pharmaceutical department, and you don't have L-glutamine powder. But if I go online, hundreds of them pop up. So I thought, okay, I'll go to a local pharmacy. I went to my pharmacy that I use. No, we don't carry it. Okay. So I went to another local pharmacy. No, we don't carry it. I went to Walgreens, and one thing I got to say with Walgreens, if they don't have it, they'll check and see if they can get it. You know, they might be outsourcing for it, but they'll try to get it for you. No, they don't have it, and they can't even get it. And I go,
Oh
then
my
why
gosh.
is it all over the fucking internet, but not a single local? I even went to the Co-op, which is a whole health food store. Everything's organic there. They got all the supplements, everything. They didn't even know what the fuck I was asking for.
You guys don't have a GNC?
Wow.
What's that?
Do you guys have a GNC?
No.
Yeah, that would be a
That'd be
place
my
to
next
go,
step.
maybe.
Actually, it would have been one of my upper steps if we had one.
Yeah.
Because they're good to it. If they don't have it in stock or they don't actually carry it, they'll try to source out for you.
Yeah.
Comet's saying it might be a little cheaper and better from Germany or Russia. I use Bodybuild also.
Wow.
The prices are very comparative. It's the market. It's just like that's the price. Some of the issues with some of the out of country legumine I was looking at, there's additional shipping costs. So it does jack up the price. The price of the actual product is 20-30% less, but it's made up for on the shipping end of it. They add that on, and it's like, shit, you know. But ain't that the world? I mean, damned if you do, damned if you don't. You're just damned. You're just damned. Yeah.
I started trying CBD oil for anxiety because mine is spiked recently. I'm 2 days into it, but they say after 2 to 3 days you'll notice a difference. I'm hoping it does help because
Yeah, it should.
That's what I'm juggling now too. I'm going to be getting some CBD oil. I'm getting the oil as an ointment for my knees down and my hands for the neuropathy because it's a nerve inhibitor. It stops nerves from overreacting. It calms them. And a lot of people are saying that's excellent. I was going to eat THC, but that counter reacts to the oxycodone.
Yeah.
So what it does is you take an oxy and you smoke a doob, the oxy quits working. Literally, the oxy just quits working. So the doob's power, you know. I mean, that's the one it overtakes any other pain medication. But the thing is I'm at that point now where I'm taking 2 oxy a day. I was only taking 1. I'm so fucking stubborn now. And I can take 6 a day. I'm only taking 1. Well, now I'm taking 2 a day. And I didn't know about this stream because I took a gabapentin, which is a nerve calmer.
Oh, God.
And gabapentin will make you tired and drowsy. But I take one in the morning. And I took a oxy this morning. I was in so much pain when I got up. And just about streaming time, at about 1 o'clock, about an hour before the stream, I'm sitting here. And I'm working, and I'm not. I'm going, oh, shit. I'm going to get on the stream. I'm going to fall asleep right in the stream. But now I'm over the hump, so I feel good. But if I cave into that effect, man, I'll sleep for 3 hours. I can sit on the couch, put my head back. I'm gone for 3 hours. I mean, yeah. So my palliative nurse keeps telling me, and the doctor even suggested it when I talked to him yesterday, that if I don't like the oxy, you know, I don't want to get into a dependence issue, right? And he says what's happening why you're taking 2 a day now is because your body is now tolerating one. 1 a day, your body is saying ignore it. So you're adding the extra 1 to get the effect of taking 1 a month ago. He says another few weeks, you're going to be taking 3 because those 2 aren't giving the effect of 1 anymore. He says that's just the way Oxy works, is your body builds up a tolerance to its effect, and you end up taking more and more and more. And he says, if it gets to that point, you might want to wean yourself off the Oxy and wean yourself onto an alternative. And that's the way you put it, was alternative. My palliative nurse, she just said, oh, shit, no. You need to wean yourself off the Oxy and just smoke some dope. And I keep looking at her. I go, you're a licensed medical professional, and every time you visit me, boy, you're the best pusher I got in town, man. Yeah, she's out there selling it. Well, she ain't literally selling it, but she's, push. Oh, yeah, like right now. This shit, it's so aggravating. Lower back is just screaming today. And I've got a lumbar pad in my chair, and I got it just at the right spot where it's just above the pain part. Yeah. And if I shift just the wrong way, then it's right on top of the pain.
Yeah.
And it's like, fucking lumbar son of a bitch, you know. So playing PlayStation last night, I was sitting there and I'm turning sideways on the couch, both ways, sitting on one ass cheek and then on the other ass cheek. And then I realized, why am I doing this shit? I just quit trying to play and freaking take another Oxy and go to bed. What the hell? Oh no. Like I said, I'm stubborn.
You wants to stay up and play, yeah.
This last week was really bad. I've had, out of the last 7 days, I've had 3 days that I did not go to bed until after 6 a.m. in the morning. I was literally up all through the night. The one day, it was 8:30 in the morning that I finally went to bed. And then I slept for about 4 hours. It was a good 4 hours, but I didn't even go to bed till 8:30. I'll sit there and pound PlayStation, different games and shit, all fucking night. Or I watch documentaries and movies and shit. But I sit there all night. And then the doctor said, I don't like the sleep deprivation, but I like what you're doing while you're deprivating yourself of sleep. He says, you're sitting there pretty motionless other than stuff in your face. I go, oh yeah, oh God. I go through the chips and the Little Debbie's, all the snacks and shit. Last night I ate 2 huge chocolate-covered Boston cream-filled Bismarcks. Each one of them 310 calories. So I got 620 calories just eating them 2 big-ass donuts. The thing is I had 960 calories just an hour before that for dinner. So yesterday I was well over the 3,000 calorie mark. Hey, Dr. Smith popping in the house. Good to see you.
Dr. Smith, good to see you.
But yeah, I see Native Coots out there driving along. Well, when she was walking around, now she's driving around. I am so jealous, man. I could jump in my truck and live in the son of a bitch. Just keep going. Just keep going. There's always something different to see around the next corner, And I crank up the tunes and cruise down the road. And it's funny because when you see people passing you say to yourself, they don't have a clue what I'm doing. Because I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I'm just out there doing it. Just, go, go, go. And I hate towns. I go around them. I only go into town if I need gas or snacks, Oh, Kathy's up.
Kathy.
Kathy.
See ya, Kathy. Have fun with the grandbaby.
Yes.
Yeah. Sunday, she spends time with the grandbaby. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, she had all of the grandbabies I got. I got a grandbaby that's 25 years old. He's still a fucking baby. Acts like a big baby. Then them grandkids, they call me, and all of a sudden, I don't know why, they'll call me, and within 5 minutes, they're talking like they're a 5-year-old. It's like, well, you're grandpa, so I'm a little kid, right? Grow up. I mean, Jesus. You're 25 years old. You ain't my grandbaby anymore. You're grandson. Adult grandson. It's my great grandkids. Well, my oldest great grandkid, I think he's 8 years old now. 7 or 8. And it's like he's not even a grandbaby anymore. Great grandbaby. At least I do have one great actual baby. 3 months now. Only 3 months.
Oh, that's precious.
So I adore the kid. I just love the kid. And I feel so bad for him. He looks like his father. I'm heartbroken for that kid. I feel so bad.
Awful.
I'm just being truthful. I mean, I'm sorry. That's awful. Yeah, it is awful, that poor kid. I mean, he looks just like his father, and his father is my grandson. His mother's beautiful. And I told her, I said, don't let that guy in you ever again. Don't do it. If you want to have another kid, I got great candidates for you. For the second kid. But if you're going to keep pumping them up, God forbid if you have a little girl that looks like him. Oh, my God. I'll have to... Marine Mom's back. She got the fire going. Yeah, buddy. What did that...
Well, I like you exploring with me.
What did you give your great grandson for his birthday? A 12-pack of paper bags?
Draw different faces on them.
Yeah, different faces.
That's awful. It's so wrong.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I bought him a Michael Myers mask. And he looks so
An improvement. Oh, that's terrible.
I hate it because his papa, my grandson, I love him to death. I love him to death. We see each other, man. We just hug the shit out of each other. We just love our company together. But I'm sorry, my grandson looks like his father. Now my great grandson looks like both of them. No, don't keep that going. No. Because where it originated from, it's like, oh no.
That is
just so the personality doesn't match. I can live through it,
Oh, hi, buddy.
He's look at he just right shotgun there. He just all
He knows
just
we're going
love
home now.
those.
He's pouting.
I love
You don't
those
wanna go home
butterfly
yet.
seat covers. Those are cute.
those are neat colors.
Your butterflies are awesome.
Yeah, I love that. I used to love it when I had my little mascot Chihuahua, Lulu, because at one period of the time I had this big Forest Service truck I had bought, and it had a huge dashboard on it, and that little Chihuahua would jump up, and in the center of the dashboard it had this square shaped indented spot for throwing shit in, right? Well, I found this oval. It's supposed to be like something you'd throw on a coffee table or something. And it fit in there just perfect. And it was nice, thick padded. I threw that in there. She would jump up on that dashboard and she'd sit right up to the windshield, her nose just about touching it, and stare down that road wherever we went. If I'm making a left turn, it's like as the minute she'd hear the turn signal, she'd turn and look at me and see where I'm looking. And then she'd look that way. And then she'd turn and look the other way. And I thought, she's smarter than I am. I was like, she looks both ways before she pulls out, But it was always hilarious seeing her sitting up there on that damn dashboard. They got so used to me at McDonald's, they knew I won't eat their shit. I won't eat nothing from McDonald's.
Ooh, let me see those nails.
What did she do? Yeah.
Oh, those are so pretty.
Wow.
Oh, I love those.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
The effort you put into
Those are gorgeous.
I went and got them done this time.
Oh.
I used to do them myself all the time, just like
Right.
that pretty much. But yeah, my son-in-law paid for us to go get them done once, and then we have to keep going and doing it.
Yeah, the upkeep, right?
Yeah, now it's the upkeep.
Yep.
I am glad.
But it only takes like 2 hours.
I am glad to hear that. So he gifted you visits to the salon, right?
Yeah.
Now get this, and I don't care if it's shit if she's watching or hearing this, but my ex-wife, I bought her a 2-year tanning pass at a salon, right? And a full 2-year nail pass at the same salon. I also got her all the hair care she wanted at that salon for 2 years. Those 3 things together cost me $3,600.
Jeez.
She used each of those services once.
Oh.
And never used them again. They called me. I didn't know she wasn't going to them. She's having a girlfriend do her nails. She was having a girlfriend do her hair.
Oh my God.
And she was tanning at a friend's house. But not using the service I paid for from the salon of her choice. All of a sudden I get a phone call from that salon. We just want to let you know that your wife hasn't used her salon pass and it expires in 2 months. Do you think there was kind of a domestic going on for a couple of days in our house?
Oh,
my God.
I was livid. I was livid. And you know what I did? I went right to that salon and I said, I paid you out damn near $4,000 for 2 years worth of services. I said, I want something in return for that. And one of the beauticians there, she's just sweet. She is sweet. And I said, I want a pedicure. God damn it.
done. Damn it.
That was the talk of town for about a week. Old Sty sitting in there with his feet in that old vibrating tongue.
Oh my God.
Trimming the toenails and getting the cuticles all taken care. Oh man, I walked out of there like I was on cloud 15. I mean, oh my God, my feet feel good.
Last time we was in there, one of our security supervisors came in with his girlfriend, and they both sat there with getting their feet done. I was dreaming. I was like, how many of you guys would come get a pedicure with me?
If I was there, I would. I'd be right there with you. For a couple of years, I actually had a podiatrist that would come to the house and then care for my feet.
Goodness.
It's because I got a lot of trouble with the diabetes. I almost lost both of my big toes. I mean, they turned black as coal. I thought it got to the point where they were talking about amputation. But that podiatrist working with the feet, they recovered. She was good. But here I got her coming in twice a month to give me a pedicure. So I thought back to that when I found out the wife hadn't used their services. And when I told them, I said, come on now. She only been here 3 times. Now, 4 visits for $4,000. I want a pedicure. Boy, did they treat me like a goddamn prince or a king. She even ran to Burger King and got me a Whopper with cheese and a chocolate malt. So
oh my God.
I spent 2 hours getting that.
Wow.
2 freaking hours. And they just treated me like I was gold. And she said,
well, they should have painted everything. They should have painted.
Oh, that's where I stopped her. She gets all done. My feet are all dry. And she's saying, and I said, whoa, that is so good. I'm getting my socks on, getting the hell out of it. She goes, no, wait. I think we need to paint those nails up. I said, oh, fuck you. I only go just so far with this shit. That was so funny. She said, even if we paint black, she said, the least you can do is let me put a clear coat on. No, you ain't painting nothing. You ain't painting old Sty's feet. No. They got all the gals. Oh, come on, let them do it. Go with all the colors. And all of you shut the fuck up. No. You ain't painting my toe. Jesus Christ. That's pushing. That is really pushing it. I like
my battery's low. Oh, shit.
But that getting to the point. I did get drunk enough one night in a bar that I had the bartender, the gal. There were 2 bartenders there, but the gal, chat with her all night. And at the end of the night, I got in one hell of a fist fight that ended up even out of the bar, out into the street. We ended up with 6 squad cars there and all that. And the cops were so pissed at me because the guy I got in the brawl with, I wasn't done with him. And he's across the street with 2 cops, and I got a cop next to me. And that cop next to me goes, what started all of this? And I looked at the guy across the street, and I go, hey! And he turned and looked right at me, locked eyes, and I go, he doesn't like my nails. She had painted all my fingernails. He doesn't like my nails. And I'm shaking him like this in front of him, and you can see him just fuming. And I go, come on, honey, let's see what you got. Oh, shit, he broke away from me.
Oh, my God.
And I'll tell you what, the fingernail polish won out.
I got to know what color were they.
It was kind of like almost like a lilac color.
Like purplish.
Yeah. But almost pastel, purplish, lilac. And I was in the bar, and I take my drink, and I hold my little finger up. And I go, man, this is great. And I've got 4 or 5 gals hanging out around me, checking out my nails and shit. And they're buying me drinks. Well, it didn't go so well when his girlfriend bought me a drink. And he comes up to me and he goes, that drink is mine. And he reached for it. And I go, whoa, back off. Don't touch my booze. And he goes, no, my girlfriend bought that drink. I'm drinking it. And I go, hey. I said, you're going to have something on your lips real quick. You touch my damn drink. And this might be embarrassing to other people, but it's not to me. Along with shots, they were shots. They were buying me. I had a big mug of beer, right? And he goes, I'm not putting up with any shit from some sissy with purple fingers. I go, oh, really? I popped my false teeth out, dropped them in that beer, and I turned in my seat and boom, laid them right out on the floor.
Oh, God.
You fucking call me a purple fingered sissy? I'm not a purple fingered sissy.
Oh my God.
I
Kids,
just,
don't try this at home.
yeah, this is
Oh
not
my
advice, by the way. This is not it. The teeth, the false teeth in the ear is so. Them damn things cost me $3,000. And it hurts. You get hit in the mouth and you're wearing false teeth. Oh man, it hurts. Plus they can break. And you got to get them replaced. Well, that's to replace them is about $800. I ain't got $800, so take them out, protect them, put them in your beer. Nobody's going to drink your beer, and your teeth are safe. And he can hit you. I tell you what, I could take some of the worst pounding in the gums, never felt it. If you got teeth and they're hitting you, it rattles your brains. You got no teeth in your mouth, it don't hurt. Go ahead, hit me in the mouth again. He couldn't even get my mouth to bleed. He hit me in the mouth probably 15, 16 times during that whole brawl. No blood, nothing. Oh, yeah, just kind of numb. And boom! Oh, my knuckles are bleeding. Oh, look at his lip. Yeah, because he's got teeth. But yeah. So that was the one and only time in my whole life I ever had my nails painted. It was offered to me again a few years later, and I said, no. I don't want to get in that kind of brawl and have to go through the book and release at the police department. That bullshit. And it was great because it's not nice, but it was great because even that guy's girlfriend, everybody the cop questioned in the bar said that guy threw the first punch. No, he didn't. He threatened to, but I wasn't going to take a punch if I didn't have to. Right? So I gave him one. But because the cops believed that he was the aggressor and I was just responding, yeah, they let me off the hook. No charges, nothing. But they charged him with assault. And I told him I don't like that. I'd rather you don't even charge them, and I'll catch them where there aren't.
Hold on, you locked us out.
Because assault, I mean, he didn't assault me. It's not like he pinched my ass or something, you know. No. You know,
maybe he wanted to.
And don't call it battery because I felt I won the fight. So I don't want to be titled as being battered. Beaten on. Yeah, you call it that. Hey, Blake Hurst. Great to see you, buddy.
All right, I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to take you for a
bus. Sweetheart.
Yeah, get off of here.
Love you, girl.
Yeah. Gemma, love you. Sam.
Love you.
Calculary bus. A boy named Sue comes to mind. Yeah. That's pretty much so it. And that's I was fortunate because a lot of people, you know, I didn't like losing fights and I lost my fair share. But when I called myself a winner, you took a look at me and you said, yeah, look at him. Holy shit, and he's calling himself a winner. Well, yeah, that guy's buddies had to carry him out. I walked out, so I won. and then they'd say, but look at you. I said, that's what a winner looks like. They get beat, usually the worst. I said, yeah, it's hard to be a winner when it comes to fighting because the winner usually takes a lot of the bad end of things. And just because you beat the guy doesn't mean that you came out. I tell you what, a winner that comes out that hasn't got some good bumps and bruises, that's a miracle. I haven't seen too many winners like that in my life.
No.
There was, see her in a little bit. The Native Coots is still out in the chat.
Yep.
I'm going to grab this opportunity. I got to shout out my channel members. It's only 40 seconds. So if anybody takes off during that 40 seconds, shame on you. Stick around. This only takes 40 seconds. I got to shout these people out. They're great. They're awesome. They're Yeah. Oh, awesome folks. They've been sticking with the channel for years. I got a lot of members that have been members for 3+ years. It's awesome. I got something in the mail the other day. I wish Samantha was here. Well, she might show up while I'm doing this. But I got a letter in the mail from Canoe Hound Adventures.
Issues.
Yep. So I get this letter from Canoe Hound, Dennis over at Canoe Hound Adventures. And this is awesome. This is just so awesome. I think I showed this off once before, but it says on here, he signed the letter. The letter's talking about what he sent me. But he signs it, Dennis, Canoe Hound Adventures, right? And then he's got a footnote. It says, just remember, you were my first. And under that, he says, first guest, that is. I was his very first guest on his live stream channel. And he had to sign it off as, just remember, you were my first. That is bad.
That's great.
But he sent me a whole bunch of goodies. An awesome Canoe Hound Adventures patch. And he sent me stickers. Some of these stickers, the quality is amazing. But I like this one, the yellow one. That's a good one.
He's got some cool stickers too, yeah.
But then he sends me this. It's membership badges. So there's a badge for how long you've been with this channel. And
neat.
It's 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, and 3 years plus. Those 4 stickers. So what do I get? I get all 4 of those stickers. And you peel these stickers off, stick them to this sticker, and then you stick this sticker on whatever you want. So I maxed out the membership with this channel. That felt good to know that I maxed it out. Dennis is amazing. He's quite the character.
Dennis is awesome.
Sorry that I'm disappearing, but I dropped stickers on the floor, and I don't want to do that. There, I'm back.
Yeah.
So at least you can tell old Sty can still move around. He can still pick shit up off the floor. I am so...
Gotta grab my tea.
I am so hopeful for this coming week tomorrow I get my next round. My next round of chemo tomorrow. They're adding one new chemo, one more chemo to my regimen, and that one has some side effects that you just don't want. You know, they're not side effects that are comfortable. But it's only 30% of people that get those side effects. So the odds are in my favor that I don't get them. But if my chemo tomorrow goes the way the chemo went last Monday, I'll be very happy with that. And with this legutamine, if that helps the muscle pains, and it actually does help with the stamina and building muscle, I'll be a lot more happy. That'll mean I can be out there hiking. I can go to waterfalls. I can do things, you know. Yeah. Oh, they're talking about Larry Bus is asking if Native Hutsu was from Alaska. No. Yeah, she's from Oregon. And Larry Bus says that's nearby. Only 4,500 miles apart from here. That's what I love about YouTube. Is it brings all of us from so far away together. I mean, Jim has stuck with me forever. I mean, it's hard for me to think back to when I didn't know Gemma. It's hard now. I've known her forever.
Yeah.
And he lives in England. And I'm in the middle of the United States. But yet, we were able to develop that relationship and friendship without having to be just close. It seems like she's just the next room, you know what I mean?
I don't really see the distance thing. It's the fact that I can talk to you when I need to, and I can get hold of you pretty quickly, and it's not hard for me to talk to you. So
I found, Gemma, that I can reach you or somebody else anywhere across the world. Samantha up in Alaska, she's 3,500 miles from me. Well, 3,000 miles. I take that back. It's 3,028 miles from Ashland, Wisconsin to Anchorage. But she's 3,000 miles away, and I can send her a message or a notification, and I know within just a couple hours she'll respond.
Yeah.
I can't get a hold of people locally here that fast. Yeah. The Larry Bus is from Switzerland, from the Alps. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I should pull you up here and make you yodel for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get up here and yodel. I tell you what, anybody that's in any European mountains, I automatically assume they should yodel for me, you know. Hey, MT Woods Runner. Woods is in the house. Awesome. Yeah, I've got a lot of waterfall vids in my playlist for waterfalls, but I need to go revisit them. And seriously, I'm going to all these, my favorite waterfalls, and I'm going to be particular for a while. I'm going to go to a waterfall. I don't give a shit if it's extra weight or not. I'm packing in a nice camp chair and a good lunch, and I'm going to spend hours at each waterfall. I'm not going to do 2 or 3 waterfalls a day. No, I do one waterfall and sit there and take it all in. And don't anybody get sad or nothing. It's just the way I want things. I want to go and say goodbye. To some of the nicest waterfalls you can experience. And that's it. That's it. Is one of my bucket lists, you know. And there's a lot of waterfalls I just love that there's one I want to go to. Trying to remember what they even called it. It was something Cabin Falls, and it's very remote. They said that they figure they get less than 100 people a year hiking into that waterfall because nobody knows where it is. And the road into it, yeah, you're off-road, man. I tell you, it might be called a road, but yeah, you're off-road. You better have the right truck. Get in there. And I will have, because I'm going to get all new meats on my truck, good tires. Get me into some tough spots this year. But once you get in there, there's no trail to those falls. You have to know where to go into the woods and how to work your way around to that river. You can't even hear it from where the road ends. But you get in there and then you can hear it. You get closer and you get there. And there's a beautiful waterfall. And there's no beaten down paths. There's no spots you can see where humans were doing shit. I've been in there 5 times in my lifetime. My last time there, I found 5 cigarette butts. I'm a smoker. Yeah, you all know that. Here, now I mention it, so I'm going to light up here in a second. But I was livid. When I came out of there, I ran into a forest manager. And that part of the forest is owned by the county, not by the state or the federal. But I run into this forest manager, and he asked me, "Did you hike into those falls?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "It's a pretty good hike in there. It's rugged getting in there, but once you're there, it's beautiful." He goes, "Oh yeah, I totally agree." And he said the nice thing about it is you never see any sign of people there. I reached in my pocket and I pulled those 5 cigarette butts out. And I said, "The hell you don't." I said, "I sure wish you could find them and cite them. Give them a citation. Sons of bitches out there throwing their cigarette butts on the ground. How many went in that river? You know, I don't do that. And I'm a chain smoker. You'll find my pockets packed full of cigarette butts. Because, no, never touch the ground. Cigarettes don't go on the ground." And yeah, and that fellow said, well, he said, if we could have someone out there to monitor, it would make a difference. I said, why should we have to have anybody to monitor? That's why I always say that. All of a sudden we have to have enforcement for this and enforcement for that. Why do we even need the enforcement? Why do we need it? We need it because there's people that don't respect things, you know. As far as I'm concerned, the enforcement should be the other people that appreciate those natural things. Catch somebody ruin it, give them a grown-up spanking, you know. Give them a good grown-up spanking. They won't throw shit on the ground anymore. That's like, I had someone the other day tell me, "Jesus, you used to be, you respected everybody, you treated everybody well, and you managed to hold your fuse back. Don't have to keep too short of a fuse. But boy, when you let loose, and they regretted it all the time." And he said, "Look at you now. You don't dare be what you used to. Try to be what you used to be." I said, "What the fuck they gonna do? Kill me? They better get in line." And I know 9 out of 10 guys that would confront me, I'd lose the fight. But I guarantee you, they're getting in their vehicle and going home with tears in their eyes. Because I'm going to hurt them. I'm not going to win the fight, but I'm going to fucking hurt them. I tell you what. No. I found out as a little kid, You poke a cat that you think is dead with a pocket knife, and all of a sudden that son of a bitch turns into a tiger, and it's going to have you for lunch. That's the way. That's the way I am. That's the way I am. I might be that dead cat laying on the ground. Don't poke me, because I can still fuck you up. I'm not going to win, but I can still fuck you up. It's going to be one of the worst wins you had for a while. Yeah. Yeah, Marine Mom, you're right. We all have to respect our Mother Earth. My palliative nurse, get this. This is weird. I was shocked when she said this. She goes, well, I can't wait till this spring. And it's nice and warm, and it's dry out there. The grass is nice and green. I can't wait for that. I said, neither can I. And she goes, no, I can't wait for it for a different reason. Because when I come and visit you, you're going to get rid of your shoes and socks, and we're going to go for a walk in your yard. I go, what? She goes, you need to become grounded, and that means your physical body needs to touch the actual ground. You have to come in contact with that. That's what grounds a person, is being in physical contact with nature, because you're part of it. I agree. It's kind of weird. And she said, it won't be just you. You know, I ain't going to make you go barefoot and I'm going to follow you around. No, we'll both go out there for a nice walk, both of us barefoot, in the grass. We can start a fire in your fire pit, whatever you want to do, but you're going to be barefoot. I told her, I said, I'm game. I'm good for that shit. I said, I know an excellent beach. Why don't we go to the beach for one of our sessions, you know, and run around in the sand? Oh, shit, my feet were never healthier and better. And I was an avid hiker. I cared about my feet. Every summer, I spent as much time on a beautiful sand beach up here on Lake Superior, barefoot. I went swimming out on the floaty, drinking my beers and having a good time. But I always put in 45 minutes to an hour just walking that beach, barefoot in the dry sand. No calluses, feet were so healthy. No shit. You do have to kind of come into contact with nature. It's good for you. It's just downright good for you. Blake says it was nice out yesterday. We took the boat out. Shut up, Blake. Yeah.
Bragger.
Yeah, don't be an ass, you know.
Good to see you, man.
I'm glad you told me after the fact, and I'm very glad that you had a nice day yesterday. I'm very glad. Because if you would have told me that just before you went out in your boat, I would have said, I hope the fucker sinks. With the shit weather we got, every lake you look, it's all ice. Yeah, you go out your damn boat, and I hope it sinks. You know, you like that water so much, let's see you swim in it. I mean, so bitch, if I jump off the shoreline here, I'm going to break my neck. It's solid ice. Yeah. Let's go out on the boat. Can't do it. It's in the garage, buried under a bunch of shit, because we still have ice.
Yeah. It's 34 here. It's not boat weather.
I did have a friend that had a big pontoon boat, and he put it on this one particular lake every year. Well, we had a long winter one year like this one's been, and he wanted to be out on his boat so damn much, and he invited me and the ex-wife over dinner and drinks afterwards. We get over there, and I would go to the front door of their house, and I'm knocking on the damn door. Nobody's answering. I hear him yell, "We're in the backyard." So I go around to the back, and I thought, what's he doing in the backyard? There's still snow all over the goddamn place. We get out there, and he had uncovered that pontoon boat, and he had the panini cover on it, and he had the barbecue going, and they're sitting on the pontoon boat. And as I come around the corner of the house, I could hear a motor running. Here he's got this big blue barrel full of water, the outboard motor sitting in it, and he's got it idling. Blah, 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 blah. He goes, we're going out on the boat today. We hung out on that boat for about 6 hours, eating and drinking, having a good time. Just like we would have in the middle of the summer. But it's freaking snow everywhere. That's how weird we are up here in northern Wisconsin. I mean, yeah, so what? It's January. Let's go out on the boat. Oh, shit. That means we're sitting out in the cold. Here we go. That's like running water bought that big ass patio heater, and he really bought that to try to help me out working on a snowblower out there, and it was 25 below out. And he's like, oh, fuck, the old man's miserable, but he won't give up. He's going to end up with frostbite. So he runs, and he buys this big ass patio heater, puts it together, plops it next to the snowblower. I'm under that. And now it's 55 degrees. It's 35 below everywhere else. It's 55 under that. And I'm working on snowblower. And snowblower done. So the patio heater's out here on our front porch. I go out there, fire that up, come back in, fix myself a cup of coffee, the time it takes to get a cup of coffee, and grab my smokes, head out there. It's about 60 degrees in the chair. We got those metal lawn chairs, the old-fashioned tulip-shaped kind of metal lawn chairs. Those chairs are warm to the touch. I sit down in one of them. That old heater's just putting off that heat. And it's colder than shit out there. And I got people walking by wearing parkas, walking their damn dog. Their dog's shaking like hell. And I'm, hi, guys. Yeah, fuck you out in that cold shit. I'm outdoors too. But I ain't cold, you poor dumb bastards. I mean, what the hell would you do that to yourself for? Ah, they're young. You do what you got to do, girl.
Alrighty.
Don't ever be afraid to just come right out and say it. I don't. The only thing that would ever, I don't even think that would work. But the only thing you could ever do that would make Sty quit loving you is that you quit loving me. So do what you gotta do.
I gotta take her because she's out there yapping. So
yeah. Gotcha.
Thanks for having me. Love you guys.
Love you, girl.
Nice to visit for sure.
Yeah, it's been a fun day.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
You'll have to hit me up later or something.
Yeah, let's see what can happen here.
Okay. See you later. Everyone have a good Sunday.
Yeah.
The native coots that's heading for a nap. I think so. You've had a busy day too. She was streaming earlier and stuff, and she had a busy day too. Lawn dog. Speaking of snowblowers, last month it was snowing in Idaho, and at 61 years old, I learned very quickly how to operate one. Oh yeah, we talked about that I think a week ago or maybe 2 weeks ago, and yeah, and you had an audience of all the neighbors watching you for the first time running a snowblower. But aren't they neat? I mean, beats hell on shoveling. Beats hell. My snowblower, I love it.
No, Blake, I've actually had my hair chopped off. My hair was down to my waist. I've had it chopped off. I had it again chopped off on Friday. I've just had some auburn red put in it on Friday. I had my hair had some auburn color put through it.
It was way down the middle of her back, and she had that all cut back, cut up.
Yep.
I like it now. I'm one where if a gal is really into doing her hair and stuff, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. But I'm the kind of person where I like hair that's a quick brushing or combing, and it's good to go. You don't have to maintain the hell out of it because it's so long. And yeah,
Thank you, but yeah, it's just easier for me to deal with because when my hair was longer, it became a sensory issue for me. It became very heavy, and it take me when I went to go to bed. I'd lay down and it would pull on my neck, and so
yeah.
Yep.
Now you don't even have to think of that stuff. Yeah.
Nope.
That's great.
I can just lay down and
Hey,
put my head back, which is nice.
I don't know if you can see it or not, Lawn Dog. I have to make it large. That's my front yard right now. This minute, that's my front yard. There's my snowblower. It's a 2-stage snowblower, and that thing is powerful as sin. It blows snow about 45 feet. And there it's parked in the grass. It's done for the season. Even if it does snow, it's done for the season. I'm not using it ever again until next winter. I had people ask me, how are you going to be able to run that next winter, Sty, with your condition is going to gradually worsen? I said, as long as I can run the controls on it, shift it and run the controls, I can snowblow this whole place because it does all the work. I just walk behind it. I point it in the right direction. I'd have to be pretty damn crippled up to not be able to use that snowblower. Yeah. The 2-stage, what does that do for you? What it is it takes the snow in, and it's got another auger that shoots it out the chute. So it's one is eating the snow into the machine, the other one's shooting it out the chute. Now they have 3-stage ones, but there's problems that go with it. There's a lot more maintenance with a 3-stage. That's where they've got the front auger, they've got a rear paddle behind it that's shooting it into the chute, and then they've got an auger up in the chute. Those tend to have a lot of mechanical issues and take a lot more maintenance. And with our snow conditions, a 2-stage is perfect. So that's, yeah. What the heck's out of gas? What are you saying? LOL, it's out of gas. Yeah. If you're talking about my snowblower, no, it's got just enough gas for me to run it where it's getting parked for the winter.
Bus.
And I'll let it run until it's out of fuel.
Calculary buses, US English and English side by side. Yeah.
Yeah, and we understand each other just perfect. There's never been a language barrier with me and Gemma, and
no.
In fact, a mutual friend of ours, Joran,
Joran, yep.
He's Swedish, and you talk about an accent, boy. He's got a strong Swedish accent, and literally within a month, Joran and I can have a conversation. I don't miss anything. He don't miss anything. And both of us are just like, wow, that's pretty cool. And I kind of felt sad when he started, but then he didn't go on with it. But he was going to do like a video series. He had other things going on in life where he couldn't continue it. But on how to speak Swedish. He was doing it because I wanted to know some of them Swede words, because every once in a while he'll resort to using a Swedish word.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's where you lose me. Even if it's got a strong accent, but it's still an English word, I get it. But the minute you're speaking actual Swedish, I'm lost. So he was teaching some of us on YouTube how to speak Swedish.
Yeah.
Damn, that got so fun. And we had Crazy Ann on there from Norway. And oddly enough, Sweden and Norway, connected. 2 different languages. a lot of commonality between them, but they are different languages. So we got a Norwegian telling us what you're saying in Swedish, what it is in Norwegian, the differences. And oh my God, it was not just fun, it was funny. I mean, it got really funny because it was so damn interesting, you know. Oh, that's what you tell the wife, huh? Is that it's out of gas. Yeah, that's a good way out. Sorry, I can't do that. That machine's out of gas. I've done that with my riding lawnmower. Go, oh shit, I should really mow that lawn. And then have someone say, yeah, it's getting tall. Well, I can't do it today. I'm out of gas. Well, go get some. No, I'll get it.
Calculary bus says they repaired one once. The other guy then put his hand into the blower of the fast rotating part, took him away a finger or two.
Oh.
Ooh. Ow.
Yeah.
Yo,
Never put your hands into any piece of machinery that's running. Never put your hands into it. If it's made, that's like, I know a guy lost all 4 fingers on his left hand, all 4 of them gone because of a wood chipper, and he's sticking branches into it and stuff, and he had a chunk of wood that just wasn't going in, and he reached inside that auger to give that piece of wood a push. Well, the piece of wood kicked back, and he was putting pressure against it. So it kicked back, and it came out from under his hand, and his hand shot down into that thing. And that wood chipper just cut his 4 fingers right off. Just gone, chewed them up, spit them out, but shoot, that fast.
Damn.
And I told him, I said, the whole, from the front end of that thing all the way into it, nothing should go in there except wood. And if you got a piece of wood in there that's not being chewed up like you want it, shut the whole machine down. Then reach in and take that piece of wood out. Don't reach in that thing if the motor's running. Don't do it.
I think I told you a story before what happened to my sister a few years ago. Me and my sister bought our dad a golf putting machine so he could practice his golf swings with his golf club, his golf ball. Well, the golf ball got stuck in the golf putting machine. So my sister thought she'd be clever and try and get the golf ball out. So she put her hand into it, and the machine, boom, took her 4 of her fingers through till the middle of the machine. My dad had to get a hammer and break it because it had bent her fingers back so bad that 2 of her fingers had bones sticking out. So we had to take her to the ER to get her fingers put back together. It was nasty.
When I was just a teenager, I worked for a grocery store, and they had me working. 80% of my job was in the meat department. They had this huge meat department. And the store was owned by 3 brothers. The one brother was the manager. He handled the cash register all the time, blah, blah. He didn't lift a finger to do anything. He just, I'll check people out, that's it. The other brother, he managed the whole business. So we never saw him. He sat at home and did bookwork. The third brother, that was funny. They were an Orthodox Jewish family, right, that owned this store. I get hired by them. And they named me. I told them what my name was. They didn't care. They called me Hans. They called me Hans for 3 years. Well, I find out the third brother, he's the butcher. Why is he the butcher? Because he has to handle all the meat products that the community wants to come there and buy. An Orthodox Jew is not going to handle non-kosher foods. They're not going to touch it. They won't even touch it.
Oh, okay.
But he was the bastard of the family. He didn't follow the Jewish ways. He was in the military, got based up in Alaska, and he couldn't believe the smell in their camp kitchen. He said it was so wonderful, and he asked them, "What is that?" And they said, "It's this right here." And he goes, "What is that?" And they said, "It's bacon." Even though he knew it was against his religion to even handle it, he ate his first piece of bacon, and that did it. That did it. That guy loved his bacon. Oh, he's eating bacon all the damn time. Well, he got ostracized from the Jewish synagogue. The rabbi said, "No, you can't even come here anymore. You nasty sinner, you know." Well, old Bill, he didn't care. He says, I don't need religion. I need bacon, you know. But he's one of the three brothers, and they always do it as a family thing. Do everything as a family thing.
Yeah.
So they put Bill in the butcher department, and he learned to be quite the butcher. He could cut meat. He was awesome. But he had to handle pork and other things that were not kosher, different sausages and things. Well, the problem with Bill was yak, 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 yak. And I would watch him with a big old meat cleaver chopping up chickens, and he's looking at you and he's chopping and talking. And I'd go, "Bill, you're going to cut your damn hand off. You can't be. Watch what you're doing. I've been doing this for 30 years. I know what. I haven't lost a finger yet." Well, one day we're in there, and we're all set up. He's going to grind beef in the ground beef, you know. He gets the big grinder all set up. Everything's ready to go. Gets the first tray of beef up there. Third piece he puts in there, shoves his hand down there too far, trying to push it into the auger, and it grabbed his pointy finger, and it cut it off at the first knuckle, took the whole end of the finger off. So he ended up with that short little stubby pointy finger.
Yeah.
The uproar in that store. I had the other two brothers, Bill's nephew and niece, and the other two brothers' wives, all got him cornered, and he's got this cut off finger. He doesn't go to the doctor. Oh no, not till they were done with it. Oh, they chewed him out. How he ruined that batch of beef. Everything that's any meat that's out anywhere in the meat department has to be thrown out. He goes, "Bullshit." And he looked down in the tray where the ground beef was, and there was about maybe 10 pounds that he had already ground.
Yeah.
He reaches in, takes a big fistful, and he goes, "Look at that. That's the only fistful that's got my finger or blood in it." And he throws it in the trash, and he goes, "The rest of that's good." Oh my God, they blew up. They went nuts because you can't consume any human blood. That's a big no-no.
Yeah.
Right. And he was so mad because they made him throw that whole tray of beef out. And I just stood back going, my God, he's got a cut off finger, and you're not letting him go to the doctor. You're chewing him out. And then you make him throw the beef out before he can go to the doctor. It was like 2 hours before he got to leave the store to go to the doctor. And when he got back, his fingers all bandaged up. And he said, "Yep." He says, "The whole end of it's gone." He says, "Forever." And I said, I told him I knew that was going to happen, but I'm kind of glad that it just got the tip of your finger, because the way you swing a meat cleaver or a knife around while you're butchering, I thought sooner or later he's going to cut his whole damn hand off.
Yeah.
And I said, all you lost was the tip of your finger. I hope you learned something. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did. He all of a sudden, it's, "Get away from that machine. You're going to get hurt on that machine." You know, it was, slicing meat with the big slicers.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, he'd stand there and look at you like a damn vulture over your shoulder. "Oh, you're getting too close. You could get hurt." You know, "Oh, yeah, calm down, Bill. I'm following the safety stuff." But, oh, yeah, he learned Oh, Woods Runner's got to take Dude out for a walk. Dude is his dog, and if
Okay.
you go to MT Woods Runner's YouTube channel, he goes he hiked to the top of 20 mountains in one season, one summer. He's my age, close to my age. I don't know his exact age, but he's close to my age. He might be a little older, he might be a little younger, I'm not sure. And he did 20 peaks in one summer. And so many of them, he had Dude with him, his dog. Dude is awesome. He's an awesome little guy. Well, he's kind of chunky little guy. But it is so cool. His dog Dude is so cool. And you can tell he takes care of Dude. I mean, really takes care of him. The one hike they had, Dude had probably stepped on a sharp rock or something, and he was kind of favoring one of his feet. Oh no. Woods Runner is checking his feet out. Oh yeah, he's got a sore foot, wraps it, and he carries Dude off the mountain. I mean, yeah, him and Dude are just, they're partners, man. And that's cool. When I see people that have that kind of relationship with their pet, to me, that's cool. That's the kind of deal where something happened to Woods and Dude was still here. Dude would be sitting by his side. I mean, you see these stories of people that passed away and their dog runs off and they can't find the dog, and they find the dog a week later, and here that dog has spent all that time laying on that person's grave, and they had to figure out a way to get the dog to come home and eat so they could care for the dog, but they had to just let it, because it would try to escape and go back to that graveyard, and let the dog go, and the dog would stay with his master until the dog passed. There was one story I saw that the dog, for 11 years, that dog would lay on his master's grave almost all day, and he'd go out there and lay on that guy's grave almost all day. Cackleary Mouse. Isn't that a cool name for a dog? Dude. Hey, Dude. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. And it's different, it's just a different name.
Yeah.
It's funny what people name animals,
my dog was called Tazzy when
I
had my dog. But she passed away 5 years ago.
Yeah.
She was 21 when she passed away. So
wow. Yeah, long life.
Mm-hmm.
Nice long life.
Yeah.
My dogs, a lot of my dogs were named before I got them. So they recognized that original name. So I just leave it on them, use the name. And there was a few of them that I intentionally named. I had an Akita Malamute Husky mix, and weird looking dog too. But he was big. He was big and he was tough. God, he was a tough dog. But his coloration, if anybody's watched a Yogi the Bear cartoon, who's his little right-hand man? Boo Boo.
Boo Boo, yeah.
And he's the light tan colored bear, where Yogi's the dark brown.
Yeah, dark brown one, yeah.
Well, Boo Boo looked color-wise like my dog. And Boo Boo's kind of the dumb guy. And that was the personality of my dog. So I named him Boo Boo. And people would just ask all the time, why would you name a dog Boo Boo? Because he's Boo Boo, the bear, you know, the little bear.
Yeah.
Hey, he's Boo Boo. Yeah. Number 2. Yeah. Named the cat number 2. Because there was already a cat. Yeah. First cat, second cat. We had 2 cats, and we named them Beef. The one we called Beef because he was black and white like a Holstein cow. So we said, yeah, he looks like a Holstein cow. Well, Holstein's not a good name. Don't want to call him cow. And I said, well, why don't we just call him Beef? Everybody agreed. That's cool. Yeah, we'll call him Beef. Well, then we got another cat that was Siamese. Pure Siamese.
Oh.
What are we going to name that? Oddly enough, I'm sitting there eating some beef and barley soup, and I realized the barley in the soup was the same color as that damn cat. And I go, let's name him Barley. And they thought about it, and I said, and it's because of this. I showed, okay, yeah, that's cool. Let's call him Barley. So we had Beef and Barley. Well, there was a time when I was transitioning between jobs, and I had the whole family around the table trying to explain to them, things are going to be a little rough. They're not going to be bad, but they're going to be a little rough. We're going to have to tailor down on things we do. None of this extra go out and eat and home deliveries of pizzas all the time and shit. We're going to have to eat normal and do some things lower keyed until I'm back into the new position. The kids were panicky. They said, what if we run out of food before you get a new job? I said, we're not going to run out of food. And they said, but you don't know. We could run out of food. I said, in the absolute worst case, we can always have beef and barley soup. The looks on those kids' faces, they turned and looked at those 2 cats like, oh shit. Things might get rough enough, we got to eat the cats. No. A pound of beef is pretty cheap, and we got tons of barley already in the cupboard. So I can make beef and barley soup. Not cat soup. They thought I was talking about the damn cats. We're going to make beef and barley soup. Yeah. No, thank you. No, thank you. It's funny, the calculator bus is saying, named the cat number 2 because they already had a cat. I had an acquaintance. We hunted together a few times and worked together a couple times.
Yeah.
So we were kind of good acquaintances. But I found that out at his house. He had a number for every pet they had on the place. And they had like 4 dogs and a half dozen cats, but they were all numbered. They didn't have names. They were all numbered. And I thought, that's kind of odd. Okay. You know, we got number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. Okay. Then I found out one day he was yelling for his son. He had a son and a daughter. And his son was about 12 years old. And he's yelling to his son to come down to where he was to help him do something. And he's whipping off this number. And it's a long number. It seemed familiar, but I thought, what the hell is he yelling that number for? That kid come running right down there. Yeah, Dad, what do you need me to do? And he says that number again and says the number like it's a name and says, do this and this and that. So I asked him after the kid was gone, I said, were you calling that kid a number? And he goes, oh, yeah. I go, what? He goes, that's his social security number. I go, what? He goes, oh, yeah, my daughter's blah, blah, blah. What's her number? I said, you got to be kidding me. You're calling your kids by a number? He says, yeah, it's easier than remembering their damn name.
Oh.
What?
That's
that poor
insane.
kid. The poor kid's got to go to school to hear their name spoken because their dad's calling them by a number all the time. Their mother didn't use the number. She didn't like it that he did that. But
Yeah.
I found out, because he had a business, I found out he did that with every employee too. What he would do is he'd spit out the last 4 digits of their social security number. And he knew everybody's number. And he'd call out their number and tell them, do this, do that. He never called them by their actual names. And he found out, I came right out and told him, I said, that really irritates me. That you would put a number on someone, you know. I said, I thought it was weird when you were doing it to your pets, but when I realized you're doing that with people, that's weird. That's a little out there. I said, I'm not too happy with that shit.
Yeah.
And he was kind of mad at me because I refused to let him call me by a number. I wouldn't give him my social security number, so he couldn't use that. And then he'd come up with a number. And every time he'd say it, I'd ignore him.
Hey, Kimberly.
Hey, Kimberly. Yeah, I'd just ignore him when he'd call me by a number. Just ignore him like I didn't even hear him. And it didn't take long for him to figure it out. If I don't call him by his name, he's not going to answer me. And so with me, he called me by my name. And a couple of his employees, when he called me, he called me by name, they turn and look like, what's going on that he's calling them by name, you know. They didn't realize that I wasn't going to pay attention to his damn number system. Yeah. Pragmatic, yeah.
I think it's nice to be called by your name, though, because otherwise, to me, it's like when people still call me by my label sometimes on YouTube, they'll go, oh, you're just the autistic girl or the autistic woman. And it's like, well, no, my name's Gemma. Like, don't just call me by my label. That irritates me.
Uh-huh. No, folks, I don't have a song request. But that's cool. That's cool. I hope you're having fun with that, doing your radio show. That's cool. Yeah. Different twists. You got a world of YouTube and social media is pretty open. What do you want to do? You know, what do you want to create? It's pretty open.
It's just a sign of respect too. Like if you call someone by their name, it's just a sign of respect and common courtesy.
And it identifies you as being recognized as an individual, as somebody.
Yeah.
You're actually somebody. But if you're just a damn number, you don't feel that. You don't feel included. You don't feel like you're being recognized as being a fellow person. Because our names identify us. You know, who the heck wants to have a conversation and you're talking about somebody, and every time you mention that person, it's a number, not that person.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, all of the attachments that come with being identified are gone. And imagine how that makes a person feel. I mean, that they're not being recognized, you know, as being a individual person. They're just a number. They're just a number. And I can see it in his behavior that's really the way he was thinking too, is you're just a number. You're not a person, you're just a number. And
I think people get carried away doing that too, you know, like when you get diagnosed with something or you get given a diagnosis of something and then all of a sudden it becomes, oh, well, you're the person with cancer or you're the person with autism, and it's like
they take a condition, make a title out of it, and attach it to you.
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean? Don't take away who I am.
No, exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the same thing with the number. They go by. It's like, oh, well, you're just the person with cancer, or you're the person with autism. No, That's
No,
part of who I
you
am.
you want to be able to be the person that says, "Hey, hi, I'm Gemma, and by the way,
Yeah.
I'm autistic." That's
Yeah.
your choice. You know, you're not giving yourself that title. You already said what the title is. It's Gemma. I'm Gemma, and I have
Yeah.
autism. Instead of people saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're the one with autism." The one
Yeah.
with autism. Well, there's a lot of people in the world with autism, and you're
Oh,
just
yeah.
saying, "I'm the one with autism." You know, no, I belong to this huge group, but
Yeah.
I'm an
Oh,
individual. I'm an
totally.
individual, so call me by my name. Don't add the title to it. Just call me by my name. That's
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Gemma, it was shocking news to me. My eldest daughter, she's the one with this little girl that's got this rare genetic disease condition, um, the White Sutton syndrome, and
Yes.
it's so severe, and being they don't say that it can't diagnose it as autism because
Okay.
there's so many other things going on with her.
Yeah.
They don't want to throw that in the mix, you know.
No, I
But
understand.
they come right
Yeah.
out and say she has autistic behaviors and
Yeah.
responses. So if that's all she had, we would say she's got autism. But she's got all these other damn things too. So
Yeah.
they don't title her with
Comorbid
one thing,
conditions.
right?
Yeah.
Well, my daughter, through getting care for her daughter, this medical uh, organization that provides therapeutic services, she finds out they want to hire her. But she's got to go through 8 months of schooling. So she works
Oh,
for
wow.
4 hours, goes to school for 4 hours at the same place, 5 days a week for 8 months. And then she
No.
has her position as a permanent position. I can't remember the title she gave, but she's what do they call it? It's something like, it was like reactive learning director. What she does is she worked, and she didn't realize it till she accepted the job. All they deal with are people with autism, period.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And she said she was amazed at their whole mission statement and their philosophy about, or their position on autism. That no, they're just people with different learning approaches, different emotional approaches, all these things. So she said they're pounded with, you are responsible to help these people learn at ease, that they can easily learn and don't be triggering them while they're trying to learn, but they're benefiting from your teaching them and providing that service, but you're benefiting because they're teaching you what their needs are.
Yeah.
They said the people with the autism are the ones that need to teach you how to be a good therapist. She said, I couldn't believe they even said that. The way the mainstream medical is, they always they want to tag you and say, oh, every person with autism is this way, this way, this way, this way. No. They're individuals. They all respond differently. And she said, so she's got a group of, what was it, nine autistics between the ages of 8 and 15.
Okay.
So it's, right in the middle of the learning years, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She said, those kids are a blast. She says, I love it every day. I love it. She said, I've had a couple of them trigger and just get wild as hell. And she says, and her supervisor said, that's why we hired you, because she'll just smile and just, yeah. She lets them vent it, get over it.
Yeah.
She helps them come back to a calm state, and they move right on. No issues about it. It's just like, no, that's just part of life for you. So it ain't a big deal. We don't have a problem with it. And they said, the way you can interact with those kids, we'd swear you were one of the kids. And she goes, I might be. She says, I might be. I don't know. Maybe I've been autistic my whole life. I don't know. She says, they're just kids. They're just kids. And I told her, good for you. I love hearing that.
Yeah, it's just about treating the person for who they are and trying to get them to a calm state and not. The thing that I found is over here, a lot of autistic people are often shouted at or they're talked down to like we're dummies, and it irritates me. I still get it now. People will talk down to me, they'll go, oh, well, Gemma can't do that. You know, Gemma doesn't understand this. I'm like,
That's what my daughter talked about that. And she said she had another person on their staff say to her, oh, you shouldn't even try to do that with them. And my daughter said, why shouldn't I try something with them? If one or two of them can comprehend it and apply it, don't leave them out. She said, they're not stupid. They're not dumb. She said, and if you can teach them how to willingly test something, try it. She said, I guarantee that they're going to come out of a lot of their shell and they're going to be more adventurous, braver on the things they can do in life than they will be if you keep telling them, no, you just can't do that. She said they can do whatever the fuck they want. It's just that they've got some barriers they have to get beyond to be able to do some of those things. And we should be trying to help them do that. Not title limits, being unable all the time. And I guess it went kind of up the ladder in that organization, and the person that told her, no, you shouldn't try teaching the kids that way. Oh boy, I guess they come down on that person hard. Bullshit. You leave her alone, let her work with those kids. We haven't had one of those kids say they don't like her. Not one of them. They all just adore her, so just leave it alone, because she's doing her job, and that's to be able to interact with those kids and help them learn. And she's not there to actually teach. She's there to help them get beyond some of the barriers and learn. And she doesn't think there's anything that an autistic kid can't do. She should have done.
There's not. As long as you give us time to, process it and figure it out. Like, I'm very visual. I have to have things in front of me. Like, I have a visual plan every day. I write down my chores. I write down my videos that I'm going to do. I have all my research in front of me. I have my notepad in front of me. I'm like, boom, 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 boom. Yep. And once I know that I'm doing it, I'm like, okay, Gemma today's going to do laundry. Today's Gemma going to do her vacuuming. Today Gemma's going to do polishing, and it's just 3 simple chores a day. I'm like, okay, today is washing up plates and cutlery day. Tomorrow is vacuuming day. I break them into reasonable little tasks.
And things that you can accomplish. I can get that done. If I stick to this, I can get that done. See, and I understand that better now with the condition I'm in. I was at a stage where I could pound out 18 to 20 miles a day hiking. Now, that's a lot of hiking, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You're hiking on an average of 2.5 to 3 miles an hour. That's an awful quick pace.
Yeah.
Now, I can do 20 miles in probably 3 days in this current condition I'm in. Doesn't mean I can't do 20 miles. It just means I need 3 days to do it.
Yeah, you need more time.
So
Yeah.
I won't convince myself I can head out of here and hike 20 miles because I know damn well I can't. But if I plan, I can say, well, I can hike 6 miles a day. So it'd be about 3 days I can get to my destination. So I got to plan on camping for 2 nights on that trip. So, okay, I'm hiking 6 miles instead of 20. Does that make me less accomplished than I was when I could hike 20? No, I still hike 20 miles.
Yeah.
I just didn't do it as fast as I used to. And I see that in other people. And it's the goal that you set. It's not how you get there. It's will you meet your goal? It might take you 4 or 5 times attempting to reach that goal where someone else can reach it their first attempt. So what? You both accomplish the same goal. It's not how you got there. It's can you reach that goal? You know? Yeah, Marine mom. Good for her. So proud of her. Talk about my daughter. Yeah. And that poor girl, I don't know how the hell she can do it because her daughter needs 24/7 care. Her daughter's tube fed. She's got, it's almost, it's like curvature of the spine. Her legs don't work properly. Her hands don't work properly. She's got this condition where every muscle in her head, the whole head, every muscle is contracted. 24 hours a day, just contracted. But yet that little girl can sit there and look at you and make a smile. And you can look at her eyes when she makes that smile. And you can tell it hurts for her to smile. But she still smiles. And they're working on that. It's a neurological issue. They're working on that. And she's in therapy to relax the muscles of her face and head. Because it's so constrictive, it actually will distort bone growth. So they're really working hard on that. Well, so she's got 24/7 care her daughter has to have. Her daughter will play alone or with other kids, but you got to be there. Even if she's with other kids, you got to be present. And I asked her, how the hell can you do that and work full time? Well, her daughter-in-law, who just had a baby, is there to take up the slack. She knows exactly how to handle that little girl. And then my other grandson, his fiance, she now has kind of got, my daughter put her through like a training process on how to handle little Fawn. The little girl's name is Fawn. And so she's got two people while she's at work to care for Fawn while she's gone. And they said a couple of the medical providers said, well, we can get in-home care to come in and watch her for you. My daughter said, no. If I haven't trained them how to handle her and all of the medical needs she needs throughout the day, because they got to properly tube feed her, they got to flush her, they got to, all these things they got to do for her. And she said, I don't know these people. You guys say they're qualified and stuff, but what if I come home and they say, oh yeah, she's been fed, blah, blah, blah. And then I look at the supplies and I don't see that they've fed her. What can I do about that? It's too late. You already made her suffer and not eat, not have food.
Yeah.
She said, so if I don't train them, they're not watching my kid.
Oh
So
yeah.
I said, good for you, good for you. Just because they say they're a pro at something doesn't mean they are. You
No,
know, just because
absolutely.
you want to see what they do. I had a nurse that was a student access support in my class, put the IV tubes in for my chemo last Monday. This
Yeah.
girl, a student nurse, has never accessed a port before that's embedded under your skin on your chest. She had never done that. She had never actually seen it done.
Yeah.
She had read about it, saw pictures and things, but in person has never been involved with actually doing it. And she studied the hell out of that process. They came in, a licensed practical nurse that usually
Yeah.
accesses my port, and she goes, "Here's the scoop. I got a student. Would you be willing to let her access your port this time?" And I looked at that young girl and I go, "How often have you done this?" She goes, "This is my first." I said, "Okay, have at it. Go for it." I said that only because she didn't look uncomfortable or nervous. It was like, I'm ready to do this kind of persona about her. Oh my gosh. It's quite a routine they go through to stick that 3/4 inch needle into your chest and tape it all down and all that. I didn't feel a thing. I didn't feel a thing. I told that girl, I want you next week. That was awesome. That's the very first time she's ever done it. And it was better than these nurses that have done it hundreds of times.
Yeah.
I said, you're going to be good at doing this stuff. Because she was going into the cancer side of medicine. So she
Yeah.
needed to know, she needed to learn all those routines with cancer patients. So I said, I hope you appreciate the fact that you did a very good, you get an A+ today. And the licensed nurse says, well, I make that decision. I said, no, you don't have to. It's already been made for you. She gets an A+. Every step she took, everything she did, I said, you have to admit, she didn't miss a single step. The sanitation issues, everything, cross-contamination issues, everything. She did everything perfect. And I said, I've had my port accessed enough now where I know if a nurse is skipping a step. I can tell, oh, hey, you didn't do this. I'll remind them. Because
Yeah.
I've had it done enough times where I know the routine. That girl, slick as can be, didn't miss a step. Everything was perfect. And I thought, okay, she's going to be the kind of nurse that in the future, when she's dealing with a new patient she's never worked with before, after 1 or 2 contacts with her, they'll have confidence in her.
Yeah.
But when they send somebody in and they say, oh, she's a licensed practical nurse, she'll take good care of this, and it hurts like hell and it's half-assed done. Okay, your title didn't mean a damn thing, did it? Because you ain't no good at this. And then you have somebody with a lower title come in and they're perfect at it. They don't get the credit
No.
for being so good at their job. And that's what concerns me, is that some of these people just don't get that they're just desserts for what they can do.
Oh yeah.
And
It all comes down to bedside manner as well, because as you know, I've dealt with a lot of health professionals over my time of going to medical institutions and other places, and it's their bedside manner, it's the attitude that they have towards their patient or the person who they're treating. And the amount of times I've been to the ER for panic attacks and anxiety attacks and my autism and stuff, and
it goes so far
every time.
Yeah, it goes so far to you getting through your situation. My palliative nurse, she's a licensed practical nurse. she can be very professional, but she can be very human at the same time.
Yeah.
Last time she came to visit me, we got in kind of a touchy, rough conversation, and it was getting me emotional to the point where I was really uncomfortable with what we were talking about. Now, my couch, we have a recliner on each end of the couch, and in the center is just a seat. Well, in the center, I've got pillows stacked up almost the side of my shoulder to rest my right arm on because my right side hurts so much. And a couple other things. There, a charger for my PlayStation controller and stuff like that. Well, we're talking, I got kind of quiet and I didn't want to say much more. And I was starting to really break down. Did not like the conversation.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, those pillows are taken off and set on the floor in front of the couch. The electronic things that were under moved off the couch on top of the pillows, and she comes over and sits right next to me.
Yeah.
I mean, we're hip to hip. She's sitting right next to each other. And she reaches over, puts a hand over my shoulders, and she's just rubbing and patting my right arm. All of a sudden, all of that anxiety and the burden of the conversation went away. And we were able to talk. I was able to talk again. She was so comforting by doing that. She threw the medical side of it out of the picture and brought in the human aspect.
Yeah.
You know, let's be comforting right now instead of medical. And I told her after our visit, it was a 2.5 hour long visit. I told her as we headed to the door, I said, "You're amazing. What you did today is amazing." I said, "I can't believe that you can bring yourself to my level and comfort me when it's really tough." I said, "I've never had a medical staff member of any level actually get that involved in comforting." And I told her, I said, "There's absolutely no shit. You picked the right career because people in my condition need you." You know, and yeah, we need the needles and the pokes and the blah blah blah, but we also need that person, that the way
you need that comfort and that genuine affection. Yeah.
Yeah. Birdie Mom, the turtle always wins the race. Yeah, that's it. I tell people will go, "Oh, geez, Sty, you're so slow." I go, "Yeah, I'm slow, but I'm old." So, yeah,
Not that old.
Are you dumb? Of course, I'm slower than I used to be. I still do it, but I'm just slower.
Yeah, you still do it.
So I win the race. I always meet my goal. If I set myself to a goal, I'll meet it one way or the other. Might take longer.
Yeah, you just need more time.
Yeah, woods runner. The medical profession needs more like the gal I was talking about. They really do. And I have to say, though, at our cancer center where I go, there isn't a single person on their staff except for one. That gal, you can tell she's trying to be comforting. She's trying, but she can't succeed. She's just way too gruff. She's just and she knows everything in the medical field. She thinks she does.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact thing, but yes, I do. It was about the fact I'm allergic to lisinopril. Well, what happens when I take lisinopril is my blood sugars crash. That's a med I cannot take because it makes my blood sugars just bottom out, crash.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, no, it doesn't. I go, it did. So don't say it doesn't, because it did.
Yeah.
To the degree I ended up in the emergency room. Took me off the lisinopril. Boom, my blood sugars leveled right out. So don't tell me it doesn't. She goes, medically, it's impossible. It doesn't happen. And I told her, I said, you're really upsetting me because you are so wrong on that.
It's undermining and patronizing.
Right. And I said, and your attitude attached to what you think is right, a lot of other patients, not me, because I won't take that shit, but a lot of other patients will buy into your bullshit. You
That's
really don't know what
misconduct.
you're talking about.
It's
Well,
misconduct.
my doctor got in the middle of that. And oh, did he give her an earful. He telling her the whole history of lisinopril and blah, blah, blah. And he says, and never again shall I hear from any patient that you were arguing with them over lisinopril. Don't ever go there again. Now, I don't see her. They never have her even come in. In fact, the last time I saw her was the week before last. She came in the room. That's the first time I seen her in my room for 3 months. She came in my room with the snack basket. Sty, would you like some snacks? You're going to be here for 4 hours. You want some snacks? Oh, here, take this. Have one of these. And off she went. And I go, she's like the guy that sells hot dogs at the ball game. I mean, she's my snack lady now, and she's a licensed nurse. But no, they shifted her duties because of the fact she could not comfort and console her patients as she worked with them. All the other gals,
you have to have a certain level of empathy and compassion to work in a healthcare environment, and I've known that for I've been training professionals now for coming up to 8 years, and I've done a lot of training in my day, and you have to have that empathy, that compassion, that patience to talk to people, because if you don't, people are going to switch off. They're going to, after 2, 3, 4 minutes, they're going to go, no, bored, and then they're going to go.
And then you end up with this going on.
Yeah.
Because the patient doesn't trust that nurse anymore, or that medical professional doesn't trust them. So you lose that trust, and they're just button heads.
Yeah.
And the patient is totally uncomfortable being there because they just really don't trust you. And that's the need, is to build that trust in your patient, that you're not there just to go through a process. You're there because you care about them. You really do. And if you really don't care about people in general and their well-being, you shouldn't be in the medical field at all.
The medical field is really hard because, you have to be on your feet all the time. You have to be constantly paying attention to the patient's wishes and their needs, and communicate with them, their families, and you have to have that common sense and empathy to go, well, actually, hold on, my patient or my friend is saying this. How about I go and chase that up? How about I go and find out what's happening? And you have to constantly be on top of things all the time.
Right. Hey, Justin Anderson, great to see you. Glad you stopped by, and we shall see you next time. And thank you again for that sausage, man.
Hello, Justin.
I still got quite a bit of it left. I'm disciplining myself, rationing, because I love it. I love it so much. So I have to ration myself, just not pig out. That sausage is going to last me a while. Love it, man. I love you too, buddy. But Marine Mom saying they needed to demote her. Good for them. Good for them. Well, they didn't actually demote her, but they have her in any situation where you need to show some compassion and a warm heart towards a patient. They've taken her out of that picture. They have her doing like You go in and get a blood test, one poke, and they take 3 vials of blood. They put a Band-Aid on. They say, "Have a nice day." They have her doing stuff like that. Like, I don't need somebody that's warm and compassionate just to give a blood sample, because I only see them for 5 minutes. And there's not even enough time to have a conversation. So that's where they put her, is working through the lab and then running these little errands for all the other nurses. And a lot of those nurses are juniors to her. She's a senior. And but yeah, Ration, and I gambled last night. Oh, yeah, I know how it is. I don't go into I haven't been in a casino in about 6 months, and I've been tempted lately to go in the casino. But I keep telling myself, I got to do like I used to do. I take my driver's license with me, my Social Security card in case I hit big, and a $20 bill. No debit cards, no other cash. I go to the casino, walk in the door, and when that $20 is dead and gone, bye, I'm going home. I might make a couple $100 or something. I'm thrilled. But I know I'm walking out that door and it only costs me $20 for that entertainment. So that I'm good with. But I don't spend. And that's only if I got a spare $20. That's why I haven't been in there for 6 months, because I can always think of something better to spend my money on. But that's how I treat that shit. Oh, you're talking about compassion in medical staff.
Yeah.
Veronica, my palliative care nurse, and this other nurse that I just started working with, and then this support staff person comes and just sits and visits, just hangs out and visits with you for an hour or two. He's kind of like a volunteer, and he's a cool guy. I mean, he's great to talk to. But my palliative nurse, Veronica, and this other nurse with the hospice care for when it gets to the end.
Yeah.
The two of them came and visited me a couple of weeks ago, and we talked, and Veronica reinforced that this last visit. I don't know what they do anywhere else, but those gals said they will actually be there in contact even at the end. I never knew these people before, but they're insistent they're going to be right there at my bedside at the end. And they said, and you can tell us, I don't want that person in the room. I don't want that person in the room. That person. It could be, if you had your mother was still alive, it could be her. You could say, I don't want mom in the room. The only people that are going to be in that room at any point during your hospice will be by your choice and will enforce your choice. They shall be removed from the room. You don't have to let anybody in here you don't want to. And they said, we'll be right here. Yeah, to know that you got someone that's going to be right by your side, literally to the last moment, and all they're going to do is protect your wants. They're there 100% for you. Fuck everybody else. He said he wants everybody out of the room. You all have to leave. They all leave, and I die 5 minutes later. Well, we want to be in the room when he died. Tough shit. It's his choice who was going to be here. And I said, I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's your human rights, but at the end of the day, it's your choice who you have with you, when you have them with you.
Yeah,
it's your
literally to the last second, you should still have control of your choices, what you want. And,
of course, yeah.
and these gals are determined to give that to you. And the one, Veronica said that she had one client that when they were passing, they insisted that certain people not be in the room. Well, those people were challenging it, saying, you can't make us leave. And she said she picked up her phone, made a call, hung up the phone. And 5 minutes later, there are 2 law enforcement officers there.
Oh.
And didn't just escort them out of the room, escorted them out of the building.
Damn.
But said, no, you go back to that room. You step through the doorway of that room. We're going to charge you with criminal trespass.
Ooh.
Because that person has the right to say who is and isn't in that room with them. And
Yep.
that person passed away without them in the room. And before they passed away, they had said, I didn't want them in the room because they're going to terribly overreact when that moment happens. I know them too well, and I know how they're going to react. These other people are going to stay calm through this process. Bingo. That person got their wishes right to the last. And these gals were there to make sure it happened. Okay, I'm cool with that. It makes the end less scary. You know what I mean? It makes it so much more acceptable and comfortable.
So me and my nan had this discussion about her final wishes the other day, and like I said to her, Nan, for me, the best thing for me to do is when you are getting to that time and it comes to the fact that you are going to pass away, I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there and see you struggle to the end. I'd rather you pass in your sleep with someone who you want to be there with you, and then I get told a few hours later you're gone.
That it's happened.
That's easier for me. So otherwise, I know if I have to be there and watch you, I'm going to be a wreck. I'd rather not. I'd rather be at home and hear later.
I was the same way with my grandmother. We knew she was going to pass. And the doctors were so frustrated because physically there wasn't a reason for her to pass away. She gave up. And she told everybody, no, I gave up. I'm just waiting for it to happen now. And I told her, I said, warn me when you think the end is that near, it's so close. Warn me, because I can't be here. And the last visit I had with her, I told her, I said, well, and I'm patting her shoulder, I said, Grandma, I'll be back tomorrow to see you. She goes, I won't be here. I go, okay. Where are you going? She says, no, they'll have my body already at the funeral home by then. She says, because tonight's going to be my last night. I said, then I guess I won't see you tomorrow. Yep. Plain and simple. Told each other we loved each other. Get a phone call at 6 o'clock in the morning. She just passed in her sleep. She knew it. And I got my wish because she honored that wish. She didn't say, no, I want him here. I want him here. She knew I couldn't be there. That I didn't. Because even getting a phone call, it was hours that I was angry. You didn't want to fucking talk to me, you know. I don't talk to Sty. He's pissed. He's angry, and I sure didn't want to get that way in a nursing home with a bunch of people around, because it wouldn't have been pretty. I would have been calling people names that aren't appropriate. I would have I would have not been the nice guy, you know. So I was so thankful that she understood I couldn't be there. She did ask me why I couldn't be there. because she didn't know why I couldn't be there. And I told her because of the reaction I'll probably have. I'll be really angry, pissed off. And she said, as long as you're not angry at me. No, I wasn't. I wasn't going to be angry about her. I was angry about this fucked up world we have to live in. You know.
Yeah.
So she went peacefully. I could accept it much more peacefully, and that again, honoring somebody's wishes at the end is very important. And
Oh yeah.
and it extends to the family or friends that are so close. Friends that are so close. There's people that I would love to have at my bedside at the end. And I'd never ask them to be there. Because I don't have to have them there. I just would like to want them there. You know what I mean? I would.
Yeah.
I'd feel good having them there. Because I don't need them there, but it would feel better to have them there.
Yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
it would not. I know the people that I would like there. That it would not be good for them. They would definitely go through some rough suffering at the end. That my suffering is over. Theirs just started now, you know? So why put them in that position? Why put them in that place? So
I think one thing I've learned going through this thing with my nan, I've learned to realise that, when it does come time for her to go, and I have to realise, she's going through her own suffering now. She's forgetting people's names. She's forgetting things that she could do before. She's lost the function of being able to turn her own TV on. She can't do like her own tea, her own cup of coffee. She's dropped everything. She's very forgetful, and I don't want to see it like that. I want to remember my nan for who she was before the illness took hold. I want to remember the lady who would walk everywhere and who would go out shopping and would enjoy it. I don't want to remember this lady who was frail and ill and forgetful and no.
See, and that's it. I think that the only time that situation would be different is if the person is fully coherent.
Yeah.
They haven't lost memory, and they're still fully coherent, and they can communicate. They might not even be able to move their hands, their feet, their body, but they can talk, and they can have a conversation with you. Then you want to be there as long as they can do that. And if they want you there, you want to be there with them and talk and communicate. But when you have somebody that has lost memory or function and they're fighting over that, losing it, or if you have an individual that just fights death, I mean, they're not right. I hate to even go there, but I've seen two individuals that fought right to the last second. They died with a snarl on their face and just mad and nasty because they feared and hated death that much. Well, that's hard to watch. And so you always have to weigh, is it going to be quality time right to the end? Or is it going to be just another memory that isn't pleasant? I want people when I go to have pleasant memories of me going.
Oh, yeah.
Bad memories of me going. Pleasant and comfortable, Yeah, yeah. Marine mom can relate to that. Would have been hard to be there when her grandma
Yeah, it's like
passed.
Marie, Mum. Like, I actually spoke to my nan earlier, and she said something to me that really made me think a different attitude. She said to me, she went, you're not going to forget the person who I was, and you're not going to treat me for the person who I am now." And I was like, "Well, what the hell does that mean?" And I had to sit here and go,
Yeah,
"Oh, I get it. Okay."
yeah,
I was like, of course, I'm not going to forget the person who she was, because she's still the
right,
person who she is now, but
right.
she's just more forgetful and needs more care.
Yeah,
Whereas before, she was more independent. That's the only thing that's changed. The fact that she is going to get worse, but she's still verbal. She's still able to get up, get dressed, do everything for herself, but
right,
she just needs to be watched a lot because she falls a lot more. And the reason
right,
she's in care now is because she cracked the front of her head and back of her head open, and ever since then she falls over everywhere. So that's why she can't go back home, because they've ruled her too mentally non-compliant. So
right,
she's had to
right.
go home.
My
But
mother, she was falling down all the time. She had so many stitches on her face and head from falling and hitting
mm,
things. And eventually she fell, hit the corner of a coffee table, and ended up losing her eye.
ooh,
She went
oh,
she went for almost 3 years with that glass eye, living alone in her own apartment. And it was because she was 100% there. She just, some of her meds would make her dizzy or fall. And so her learning process with those meds was a rough one. I mean, yeah, she
yeah,
went through some rough times and realized, oh boy, if I take that pill, stay in my chair, don't get up, for an
yeah,
hour or
oh
so.
yeah,
And but when she said that, she approached my sister and said, I need your help. I want to be put into such and such a nursing facility, into a nursing home. And none of us were shocked. Hey, Tim, it's great to see you, Kirk Whipper, Voyager Center.
hey
But
Kirk,
but when she said she was ready to go in nursing home, I said, "Oh my gosh, that ain't good. Is she going in there temporarily, or is she going in there permanently?" Nope, she's going in permanently. I said, "Well, then that means she's going to be gone before long. She's not going to last long in there."
yeah,
And she didn't. She didn't. She lasted maybe a month, month and a half, and she contracted pneumonia, and she died in her sleep. The frustrating part there was I wanted to be there for her, and I
yeah,
couldn't. I couldn't. My job wouldn't let me leave work for that. And then when she passed, my job wouldn't even give me the time off to go to her funeral. All I wanted was one full day off. Nope. Nope. You're scheduled. You're working. If you go, you're fired. And I called the Department of Labor, the state, and they said, they can do that. They can do that. Um, we understand how tragic it is, but they can legally terminate you if you leave and you're scheduled to work. Unless you have something in your employee policy that says on demand, you can take a unpaid or paid day off on demand. Well, we couldn't there. You had to give 7-day notice
oh,
to be able to have a day off. Now, I couldn't use sick pay because you had to come back with a doctor's statement when you ever use sick leave. Otherwise, you didn't get paid for that day. And
yeah,
if they determined you weren't sick, that's grounds to terminate you. So,
donation, yeah,
but what it came down to is I told the company, and I was going to be retiring in a few months from then, and I told the company, I said, The second I turned 62 years old, fuck you, I'm out the door. Oh no, we'll raise your wages. We want you. How about we make you the permanent manager of the whole store? I said, I don't care. You can't offer me enough to stay here, you assholes. Wouldn't let me to go to my own mother's funeral.
That's wrong.
There's no definition for a person like that other than they're an asshole. They
That's
are.
just evil.
Yeah, isn't that terrible that somebody would tell someone?
That would never happen here in the UK. Like, if a family member dies and you're meant to work, we get what we call compassion leave.
Yeah, see,
and you get like 2 days to.
It's just a few
grieve.
companies here that do that. But I've never, and I've had many bosses over the years, I have never had a single employer that would not let me leave for that. In fact, when I was working for the one tribe, my father-in-law got hit by a car. He was crossing a street, and he got hit by a car. They got him to the hospital. They got him on life support. He was really banged up.
Yeah.
They contacted us. The problem was it was way down in Louisiana. 24 hours, exactly 24 hours from our place to where he was. It was the drive, and that's driving fast. My ex-wife, that's her father, and she's saying, we need to go to him, really need to go to him. She said, and I'm afraid to travel alone. You know, she said I'd never drive it. I'd have to fly, but I'm afraid to travel alone. And I told her, yeah, let me call the tribe. Well, the position I had was what they consider a critical position. It has to be, somebody has to be there.
Yeah.
I called the tribal chairman and it was a gal at the time, chairwoman, called her up and told her the circumstances. And she goes, did he pass away? I said, no, but the odds are he will. I don't know if he'll make it or not. And she said, how long do you need to be gone? I said, I don't even know. I said, I can tell you right now, I need a minimum of 3 days, if not 4, because 2 days of it's traveling there and back. I said, so if I got 3 days, I'll have 1 day there and I have to turn around and head back. She goes, well, I'm going to pre-authorize 14 days. I said, really? She says, yeah. Get your car packed up and get the hell out of here and head to Louisiana. I told the wife what she had told me. She said, oh, that's so comforting. Oh, we got 14 days. We went down there, and it was 11 days after we were down there that he passed away. And it was 13 days after we had left that we arrived in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where his funeral would be. And we arrived there, and we went right to the airport, and they had the body. They flew him up, and timing was perfect. And we followed the hearse to the funeral home. Well, when I got home, I called them and said, it's 13 days. Funeral isn't for 3 days. I'm pushing that 14-day thing. I'm over it by 2 days. They said, go over a week if you need to. I said, what the hell? You're going to give me 3 weeks for this? Well, okay. And I was telling the wife, it's tough. You know, as soon as your dad's funeral's over, we're going to have to, we can say the hellos to everybody, and right behind that say goodbye. And we got to get our asses home because I'm not making any money for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm not making a dime. We got home and we got paid every 2 weeks. I got a paycheck waiting for me. And I'm thinking, well, that's got to be tiny. It might be a day or two on there because of that trip. I looked at it, no, it's full paycheck. I was salaried. They paid me the same every payday. The next payday, there's another full check. So I called the tribal chairwoman up. I said, what's going on? I'm getting these paychecks that are covering the time I was in Louisiana and Minneapolis. She goes, yeah. We're treating it as family emergency / funeral leave. So we're paying it all.
Damn.
They paid 3 weeks of me not there working. I was so amazed.
Wow, that wouldn't happen here. No chance.
That
No.
right, and I've never seen that. I've never seen that elsewhere. Where the Bad
You'd be
River
lucky to
tribe,
get 2 weeks at a push here. Very lucky.
the Bad River tribe, they were very flexible also, but not with paying you. They'd let you take vacation time or sick leave for something like that. But when that ran out,
Yeah.
you ain't getting paid. Where this other tribe, they paid you. They didn't touch I said, well, take it out of my vacation and sick time, because I had enough vacation and sick time to cover that 3 weeks. No, that's not getting touched. So they just flat out paid me for that time. And I looked at the policy. There was nothing in there about that. But their position on it was, if it's not in there, then it's our discretion. We can decide, because it's not in there. If it was in there and said we got to do this, this, and this, that's what we would have done. But it's not in there. So we make the decision. And I said, you know how far that goes, because that means you made a personal decision to help me out that way.
Yeah.
It's not a policy decision or a company position or something like that.
They would be decent human beings.
They're just being decent people.
Yeah.
And I was thrilled. I was thrilled that they did that. I was thrilled. I wasn't thrilled a couple of years later when the assholes fired me. Well, it was several years later. Assholes fired me because they wanted $50 million for their casino project. I found an investment group that would pony up the $50 million, but they would only pony up $26 million up front. Once the hotel was done and the casino was built, we would get the other $24 million to add on to the marina and some other things. But they said, we're only going to give you enough to build the casino and hotel. All this other stuff, you'll get it. We'll give it to you if you get those things built first.
Yeah.
Tribal council at that time had changed, a lot of new people on it. And they said I failed because they sent me out to find $50 million, not $26 million. I said, it's a miracle I got you $26 million, because every financial group in this country I approached. I didn't miss anybody. And nobody was willing to fund your project except for this group. So the one and only place that's willing to finance your project, you're going to fire me, because they said, we'll finance it for $50 million, but you're only getting $26 million to build the hotel casino first. Once that's operational and you got income coming in, we'll give you the other $24 million. You finish the rest of the stuff. So what? The terms were good. You can't beat it, because nobody else was going to give us a penny. And they said no. And then they told those investors right to their face, would be sitting in the room, they had the check for $26 million. And the tribe said, you might as well tear it up, because we're not accepting it. And I got up and I told the vice chairman of the council at that time, we were off the record in what they call executive session. So none of that is recorded or talked to the public, put out to the public. I looked at him, pointed at him, I said, you're going to kill this tribe doing this shit. You're a fucking moron. How in the hell they ever put you on the council is a goddamn miracle. And I asked the tribal chairman and the treasurer, may I be excused from this meeting? I said, I have got to go back to my office and gather my thoughts because I cannot believe what you people just did to these investors. And they approved it, said, you may leave the meeting. I went back to my office. Only a half hour after I'm back to the office, here comes the tribal chairman, and he goes, I got some really bad news. And I said, what's that? And he says, the tribal council fired you for not bringing them $50 million. And I laughed, and I said, don't joke with me, man. They would never do me the favor of firing me. I said, I'd love to get the hell out of here. You got to be joking. He goes, no, it's serious. They fired you. You don't work for us anymore. I said, well, thank God. That means I can sleep tonight, get up tomorrow morning, and say, fuck them. Their problem. Well, they did build their casino and hotel. It's only half of the project that I had financed for them. Ended up being only half of what I had financed for them. They didn't get the new marina. They didn't get the golf course. All kinds of shit they didn't get. And they had another tribe finance it for them. And they did it under a contractual agreement that is actually upholdable in court. Because if they do it with a non-tribal entity, that non-tribal entity can't sue them. They're a sovereign nation. But two sovereign nations cutting a deal can sue each other. They can sue each other through international court. It's called maritime law. And they entered this maritime contract with this other tribe, get half the project they wanted, and they still, the people that were on that council that fired me, the 3 that did not, that fought with them, they got a whole different thing to say. But those that fired me, the 6 that fired me, still today they say, one of the best moves we made. You needed to get the hell out of there. You were no good at your job. Well, my history with the organization proved differently. They had the prior people in charge embezzle $1.7 million from the tribe. I went in, audited the whole tribe, found most of that money, and the tribe only lost $280,000 out of the 1.7 that was stolen from them. And the federal government, the state government put the tribe on high risk and said, we're not giving you any damn money unless you do this, 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 and this for the next 15 years. They were classified as high risk. And I told the tribe, I guarantee you, you'll be off that high risk within 5 years. Sure as shit. 2 months before the 5th year anniversary, the feds and the state took the high risk status off. They said, he did all the audits, everything's caught up. He's accounted for every single transaction that tribe's made for the last 12 years. We'll take him off high risk as long as he's the chief financial officer. 6 months after that, tribe fires me because I'm not doing my job. Cocksuckers. What really pissed me off is out of my own pocket, I flew to Palm Springs, California, all the way across the damn country, and met with this financial group and convinced them to finance us. I also got, it's Loma Linda. It's a college and a medical research center.
Okay.
I got an agreement with them, a tentative agreement, and they were ready to go. It was more tentative because I don't know what the tribe's going to want to do. They were going to come on the reservation, build a research center for diabetes on the reservation, and every enrolled tribal member would get all their diabetic supplies, insulin, medical appointments, all their diabetic care for free.
Nice.
And the building they were going to build was a $1.5 million building. Free. Tribe wouldn't pay a cent. And why were they going to do that? It's because of all of the data they would receive treating the whole tribe for diabetes.
Yeah.
All that data helps them in their diabetic research to improve on how they can provide services. So they said, that's why we want to be there, because of the educational side of it. We're willing to offer all these free services so we can get that information to help come up with better plans for diabetes. So when I came back and said, I got you 50 million, but you're only going to get 26 up front. And I got you almost a $2 million health program that costs us nothing. All their staff, their equipment, everything, they're providing all of that with nothing. The only involvement we have is to go there because we have diabetes. And they told me to go to hell. I wasn't doing my job. And that change on the tribal council
That's wrong.
is what did it, because the council before those changes happened, they would have jumped on that. They would have been doing backflips. Yes, we're bringing all this revenue to the tribe. We're going to build this beautiful casino complex, all the jobs, and it's going to be a destination resort. We'll advertise worldwide. We even had it arranged that we would have had 3 different cruise services coming in with their big cruise ships and docking in our marina. All of that never happened because they refused to take the deal. And today, when anybody says, oh, yeah, the tribe, it's a good thing they did this and that, I just shake my head at them and say, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You don't know what the hell you're doing without. You all, that whole tribe, all the people on that reservation, they could have been, we did a forecast of what that resort casino would have been generating for revenue. Each and every tribal member would have gotten at least $100,000 a year, their share of the profits off of that casino.
Yeah.
We got people up there living up there now that have an income less than $8,000 a year. Right now, they should be, each and every one of them would be getting $100,000 a year. And they tell me I didn't do my job. I tell them, fine, you think what you want, do what you want. It's your choice. I can't make you do what's right. So please just get me out of it. And they did. They fired me. So, bye, I'm gone. I never felt such a big weight off my shoulders. It was weird to, all of a sudden, I don't have all this work to do.
Yeah.
It was a busy damn job. I was putting in close to 80 hours a week for that job. I mean, it's big when you've got a tribe that's got a $50 million annual budget. It's got 410 programs that you have to monitor and make sure they're all spending their money right. They're all doing things according to the rules. It's a tough job, but it was so rewarding when you get it all working right and everything's going so good. Kids that get out of high school, right to our education department, sign up for their annual appropriation or their lifetime appropriation. They get $1,800. Oh, we'd have that check in their hand the very next day.
Yeah.
Plus, they would have all of their educational Bureau of Indian Affairs scholarships all in place. What college you going to? We just got to know, and we'll send them the check for your tuition. Happened. Boom, boom, boom. Within less than a week, any kid could be all enrolled in school and paid for it and ready to go. When I left, I found out, no, now it takes 3 to 6 months to process somebody. And when you turn 18, it takes up to 3 months for you to get that $1,800 check that is guaranteed to that person. You can't refuse it. But they'll spend 3 to 6 months dragging it out before they give it to that person. Never that way when I was there. So things have changed dramatically. And it's sad. It's sad. There were such good people at that when I was there that were running. And then they got bad people in there that had all the control. And it was sad. It was sad.
Yeah, for sure.
The tribe is barely holding its own right now. But it is. It's keeping its head above water. But they're not excelling like they could. And it's sad because they were so close. So close to having it all, you know.
Yeah. You only do so much to help someone, though. They have to learn to help themselves.
That's it. I taught you how to shoot. And what did you do? You shot yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
You dummy. You know.
Yeah. You only do so much to help someone.
That's it. Then that's when you say, I'm done working with you. I can't do it. Because obviously you're going to hurt yourself.
There's only so much you can tell someone. Like, I know you told me things that you're like, Gemma, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? And I'm like, hold on. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Stop being stubborn. Do this, do this, do this. I'm like, oh, that was easy.
And that was the nice thing with you is you considered things. You didn't say, I'll do whatever you tell me. No, you considered it before you made the decision to try it. And that's what I wanted to see from you or anybody is if I suggest something, I don't expect you to go right out and do that. Consider it. Think about it. Is it going to work for me?
Yeah.
Because it is just a suggestion. It's not, I'm guaranteeing this will happen. No, I'm saying if you do this, this might happen this way. So you need to consider it, make your decision, and you always did. You always put consideration into it, make your final decision, and it came out good. And I felt so good about that. And it all really, that whole process came to a head when you went camping the very first time. I mean,
So today, it's changed my perspective on so much. Like going out and doing things, going out and film myself at the supermarket, or going out in public where I do show myself in an uncomfortable situation. 8-9 years ago, would I have done that? No, probably not. But now I'm like, I'm going out my comfort zone to film it. I'm filming myself out in a noisy environment because I know I can do it.
Right. And all those new experiences that you're getting, it's awesome. It's great. It's absolutely awesome. Well, Gemma, I need to shut it down. I gotta go. I gotta go eat something.
Okay.
Such a food pig. I can't help.
I don't blame you. It's dinner time for you.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's 5:00 here.
Yes, dinner time for you.
And I haven't done anything but snack today, so I'll have a good, nice big dinner.
Yeah, go and have a good meal. Go and eat.
Yeah. So, folks out there in the chat, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for sticking with us. Next Sunday at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, Central Time, I'll be back. You know I'm not going to... a quick question that Marine Mom popped up. Says, Daddy Sty, have you heard from Running Water? Yes. I'll tell you before I shut it down. Anybody listening? Running Water had... I'm not sure if it happened this morning or yesterday. He had a situation where the wind literally blew him off of the load on his truck. Blew him, his whole body, blew him off the load of the truck. He hit the ground, and it's all concrete. It's a big concrete loading area. So he landed on solid concrete on his back, hit his head, cracked his helmet, because he wears a hard hat when he's doing this stuff. Cracked that hard hat right down the center, right in half. That's how hard his head hit the pavement. So his whole body hurts. His whole body is aching. He's okay.
Oh,
He's a little concerned because he could have a slight concussion. So he's just he stayed awake for many hours, like 12 hours or more. So he's pretty confident he can now try to sleep. So that's what he's doing while we're doing this stream. He's sleeping.
has he been seen? Has he been to?
No, he did not go to the doctor, but
Okay.
because he was, after a while, he was able. He said he laid in a fetal position, just holding his head because it hurt so much for quite a while, and then he realized he could move. Everything, nothing was broke, and he could get up and move around. And he called the company, told them what happened. But here's the bad part. What happened was there were two trucks parked side by side, his truck and another. He's on top of his load. Well, the truck next to him had a taller load, and they had over 40-mile-an-hour crosswind going through there, 40, 50 mile an hour or more. Well, that truck parked next to him was blocking the wind. He's up on top of his load, securing it, strapping it. He's on the edge of the load on the one side. That truck next to him pulls out. Well, the minute he pulled out, running water got the full force of that wind, and it blew him right off the damn truck. He hit the ground, took that fetal position, was laying out there, and he looked, and that truck pulled around in front of him and stopped. And the driver's looking back at him and then drove off. One of his own company drivers saw him fall off the damn truck, just sat there looking, and then drove off. Didn't come out to try to offer aid or to see how bad it was or anything, just drove off. Well, thank goodness that company has cameras all over that lot. All of it was caught on camera. This guy looking at running water and then driving on. And running water, I asked him, I said, boy, you must be pissed off. He says, I'm not that pissed off. I'm just concerned. Why would somebody just drive away when they see somebody hurt like that, down and out,
Because they have no compassion or empathy or self-respect.
Right, that's it. I said, well, the one thing you know for a fact is that person's true personality now. They don't care. They don't care about someone else. They don't care about themselves. And
they don't care for their fellow family or people who they are potentially around, because why would you not stop and help someone clearly who's in an emergency? The instant thing for you to do would be to help them.
No, damn right. I told him, I said, back when I drove in the 70s and early 80s, if we saw anybody just slightly get injured, man, you stop and you go check on them. You didn't just walk away from it or drive away from it. You checked on them. Are you okay? Do you need medical help? Do you need something? Can I help you? But to have somebody look right at you and then drive off, that is so disheartening. Yeah, his head he said he's got a bump that's about that big around, all on the back of his head. And I was concerned about that because of a concussion.
I've had concussion before. It's not nice. That's a scary thing, having concussion. That's not fun.
Yeah. So I told him, damn right, take a break. Don't come up on paddle. Go lay down. Even if you don't sleep. Because he's thinking, I should go ahead and sleep. I said, just think about how you're feeling before you do go to sleep. But if you feel you shouldn't sleep, just lay down, prop yourself up or something, but lay down and totally relax. So he's going to message me later, let me know how things are going. Hey, Joe, it's great to see you. Joey, we're wrapping it up. Um, the yeah, the guy didn't get out of the truck at all. Didn't get out of the truck at all. Just kept driving off. And yeah, the bump. It's a good thing that it was a bump out. I'd rather have a bump than an indentation. Yeah, because if it would have been pushed in, you better get an ambulance for that boy. There you go. You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome, Marine Mom. Yeah, Running Water and I don't talk a lot all the time. We live together. When he's here, we talk. We'll talk 3 months worth of shit in a week. So we get all caught up, and we wait till the next time we get together. Other than little messages that this happened or that happened. In this case, once I hear something happens to him, I keep tabs on him and make sure he responds and lets me know his progress. So he'll let me know from time to night how he's feeling and keep tabs on. He knows I want to keep tabs on him. You're more than welcome, Marine Mom. You bet you are. You bet you are. So guys, we're gonna have to wrap it up. I have got to eat. I know it. I just thinking my blood sugar might be low. And I've been out of coffee. I've been sipping the bottom of this cup. That had some sugar, real sugar in it. So I think that helped keep my blood sugars up. But I think I need real food.
Yep.
So, hey, I love y'all. You all have a very good week. Take good care of yourselves. Make it through the week safely. And come back next Sunday at 2 o'clock and we'll hang out and catch up with each other again. And think about it. I would say within a month, you'll start seeing videos, some content, because I'm going to get outside come hell or high water. I got a lot of projects out here in the backyard got to be done. I figure I'm going to show you guys how a slow old cancer patient can still get shit done. So yeah, we're gonna have some content coming up. I got waterfalls to visit, state parks to visit, things to do all summer. Content's coming, not just live streams. So throughout the week, within the next month or so, you'll see videos popping up, and then we'll have our live streams on Sundays. So all will be well. All be well. Yeah, Samantha Lee. Yay, more Sty fun. As much as possible. My video work will be a little different than it has been in the past because you can tell I'm a little more tenacious and I say things that I feel and I just come on and say it, So, and I used to try to tailor that back in my videos. I ain't doing that no more. I'm just making the damn video. That's all. We're gonna make the video and you're gonna see the real Sty right there. That's
the way we like it.
That's Sty, yeah. And I always tell people it's just like a food item.
You always told us to be ourselves.
If you take a taste and you don't like it, then why would you finish eating it? If you taste it and you like it, ask for seconds. And that's the way I see my channel. You either like me or you don't. And if you don't like me and you come to my channel, don't blame me. I love that when someone leaves a comment. Well, you should do this, you should do that, you shouldn't do this.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll message them back and I'll say, then why are you here? Why are you watching? You made your comment. I shouldn't hear from you again, right? You don't like my channel, so don't be here. Nobody said you had to stay. So that's just the way I am. I want you to want to be here. I could care less if you're here and you don't like us. I say us because I'm part of you guys. And if they don't like us, they can go somewhere else. I don't care. Yeah. So everybody's saying, see you next week, blah, blah, blah. With that, guys, you know what I got to do? Got to grab the girl in the fur coat out on the porch and do a little bit of a shuffle on my way out of here. So I love you all. Thank you, Gemma, for hanging out so long.
Thank you for having me. See you later, chat.
Bye, everybody.